Will. We're about to see. I gotta change. Y'all, I'm ready to go work out. I'm going to the beach. I'm going to the beach. It's gonna be a hot one. These are cute. I like them. When we leave the beach today, we gotta go wash laundry. I don't have anything clean. All my shorts are dirty again. And I just got 3 new pairs and it's still always dirty. I was about to change and I had these weirdos pull up right beside me. Y'all, ain't it crazy how sometimes you can tell when somebody's a liberal? Well, you can sometimes tell when some people are conservative. It's just kind of crazy when you can read people from the outside, ain't it? The more that you're able to hone into that and do that, the more intuitive you actually are. It's called profiling. The FBI, the CIA, the damn every government branch, that's what they do. They profile. I think that there's laws against that now, but they were racially profiling me. No, bitch, they were profiling you. It just so happens that your race is part of your fucking profile. Stop taking it personal. It's what they have to do. Bring back rationale to this country. Good morning, Lewis. Jamama, hey y'all. I'm wondering if my phone's gonna continue to work. Y'all, so we were talking about that mom that went viral, the white lady. We were talking about her earlier, and then I was like, I did some digging. I was looking for something, and then y'all know how I covered Springfield, Ohio when they had all their immigration problems, and then any major city that had immigration issues where it was affecting the citizens of the community. I reported on it last year. So, anyone being perverted will be blocked. So, if you can't add to the conversation, then you're too stupid to be here. Please leave now. Thank you. So, I was looking at how many Somalians moved to freaking Minnesota. How did I not know this last year? I don't know. But they've had hundreds of thousands of illegal immigrants flock into Minnesota. Tim Walz actually petitioned Donald Trump back when he was in office to allow this to happen. It's crazy. Minnesota has the largest Somalian population other than Somalia itself. There are so many immigrants in Minnesota, it is ridiculous. Tim Walz is partially the reason behind this. There was an article that came out March 12th that talks about how dangerous Minnesota is now because of the Somalia. Somalia is dangerous. And so having these people come here have only added to the danger now in Minnesota because these immigrants are part of gangs. It's really crazy. You know, I'm going to go. I'm going to read something from one of the citizens from Michigan. This was posted 10 months ago. Do you think the state or government will ever admit to their wrongdoing by allowing so many Somalian refugees to assimilate in Minnesota? It's puzzling to me that I see the Somalian population in my neighborhood driving brand new vehicles at the same time, never leaving their houses. This is the same shit we heard about where? Ohio, Springfield. This is the same reports that we had coming out of Springfield. Remember, they all drive luxury cars. They never leave the home. There's multiple people living in the home, sometimes up to 20, 30 members of the family in one residence, which is illegal. There are multiple vehicles at these houses at all times of the day, and I know for a fact they are not working. They are just living off the taxpayers' dollars for the most part. There's neighbors talking about how the houses next to them in Minnesota have been ruined by illegal immigrants, these people from Somalia. The yards are trashed. Garbage everywhere. Here's an actual graph chart. Where is this from? Hold on one second. Here's an actual chart that shows how much immigrants contribute or take from Denmark's economy. Somalians contribute the least. Hold on one second. Average net financial contribution by nation of origin. There's Somalian. It's all the way at the end. So they're taking more resources in Denmark than they're contributing. Hold on one second. Great article on Denmark's conservative approach to immigration despite being an overall progressive country. Okay, well, you get to the fucking point. It's a bunch of blah, 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 blah. I need numbers, statistical studies, data. I don't care what you think you know. Oh, that was a waste. Anyways. While Denmark welcomed 30,000 Syrians in the summer of 2015, since then, and way ahead of any other European country, it has made it clear that it wants them to leave. Unable to deport Syrians since it has no relations with Assad's regime, Denmark sent them to expulsion centers. The message, as one charity founder told the Sunday Times, was that you should stay in Germany or France or wherever. Anywhere else is better than Denmark. So Denmark at one point allowed a bunch of refugees to come into their country, and then 7 years later they started backtracking, saying, no, we don't want you, we don't want you, we can't take care of you. Very interesting. So when I asked how many illegal Syrians were in Minnesota, it says 4,000. Google says 4,000. But if you do a little bit of digging, you'll find out that it's closer to 90,000 illegal immigrants currently in Minnesota. 89,000 and some change. I wonder I wonder what that has done to the economy in Minnesota. Google lies so bad. Approximately 4,000. That is a fucking lie. They've had hundreds of thousands. Currently, they're sitting at around 90,000 illegals, just in Minnesota alone. They were brought here through Tim Walz, refugee. He petitioned Trump back in when Trump was in office to bring refugees here from Somalia. And it looks like that dates back to 2017 because there's an article here where Trump was planning to send some of those people back to Somalia. And who was fighting him? Oh, Tim Walz. I love how everybody in the world wants to flee here from their fucking country, but where do we flee to when our government is fucking overreaching? Who do we turn to when our government is doing us fucking dirty, leaving us hungry in the streets with no way to pay fucking bills? Where are we gonna flee to? Everybody flees here for the fucking American dream that does not exist. Where are we to flee to? Unbelievable. I'm sick of it. I'm so sick of it. How come U.S. Somalians seem to be able to obtain citizenship more easily than Mexicans who have lived undocumented for years? Great question. Because most of them do not come in. Let's see. This person said because most don't come. They are because... So Minnesota has the largest Somali American population in the United States, with a significant portion residing in Minneapolis, St. Paul, metropolitan, the area. And in 2008, there was 90,000 Somalian residents. So I want to know how many is illegal, because a good portion of those are illegal. Because they came in after the wall was left open, the border was left open. I mean, here's an article just a few years ago where they caught a Somalian smuggler bringing 50 illegal immigrants through the Texas border. Don't be naive. You can't get a clear answer. I want to see how that's affected the economy. Issues in Minnesota with Somalian residents. This is where that whole thing went public too, with the lady calling the little boy the N-word. I'm sure she's sick of it, because clearly the man that was recording it was illegal. They found out. His name's Omar. He's an illegal immigrant. I find it so interesting that someone who is in this country breaking the law can tell a citizen who has amendment rights and civil rights what they can and cannot say and do. And this was all because a child was stealing to start with. Call me crazy, but I think we need to address that before we address the N-word. Let's start with the root of the problem. What was it? There was a child stealing from a woman. There's nothing else to discuss after that. Just like with Austin Metcalf. What happened? These two kids got in an argument on school grounds, and one kid brought a weapon illegally to a track meet. There's nothing to discuss after that. It's like people want to nitpick about certain parts of a story and they're missing the fucking point. So they don't know how to speak English. They don't respect the culture. Dealing with the effects of being displaced. Listen, you're not pulling on my fucking heartstrings. You're not going to pull on my heartstrings. Not going to happen. I grew up in one of the most toughest environments that a child can be handed. You don't see me out here breaking the law. I don't care. I don't care, Google. Google, if you Google something trying to find information, they are so bought and paid for that whatever they pull up is going to be leftist propaganda time and time again. Am I the only one that notices this? They're trying to tell me why Somalians are great for the economy right now. How many billions of dollars did we lose because of illegal immigration? I'll wait. Oh, look! And they're not raising their children. Listen to this. Any place that more than 10 Somalian teenagers from Minnesota gather, a fight or something else breaks out. You don't say a bunch of teenagers with no maternal guidance. What do you think's going to happen? Oh, they're going to shack up at McDonald's and wreak havoc hanging out at McDonald's. Well, not anymore, because McDonald's has a sign. You got to have a driver's license. You got to be 21 years of age to even be on the premises in some McDonald's now because of this problem. Why is it never a bunch of white youngins out in the streets? Oh, because they're at home with their parents who are strict as fuck. Not always. But when I'm out here and it's a group of teenagers, they're either Hispanic or black. Where's the parents? Because my parents would never, ever let me run these streets the way I see these children running these streets. So is it any surprise that they're ganging up in groups, jumping each other, causing fights, killing each other, fighting in the street? Is it any surprise? I mean, for real though. I mean, I'm really stewing on that now. I'm thinking, when's the last time I saw 10 little white shitheads fucking off? I mean, I know I got the memory of Dory, honey, but I can't recall a single fucking time. The difference in cultures. The difference in cultures. Any place that has more than 10 Somalian teenagers from Minnesota gather in a fight or something else breaks out on July 4th. That's America's Independence Day for you non-Americans. They were shooting fireworks at random people and the cops in Dinkytown, a college neighborhood in South Minneapolis. Every day I'm hearing of news of fights or shootings or different nonsense, and I can't wrap my hand around it. Minnesota is very safe, peaceful, and prosperous state. Not anymore. You wouldn't be on a Reddit feed crying right now, sir. Not anymore. Same thing happened to Springfield, Ohio, and a lot of different states. I watched my state of North Carolina be destroyed. You can't even walk through certain parts of North Carolina as a white person. Aurora, Colorado, whole apartment complex is being taken over by the TDA gang. I think people get confused with race and safety. Race has nothing to do with safety. It just so happens. It just so happens that it plays a part in this because it's the same races or groups of people behaving the same way. Right is right and wrong is wrong. I feel bad for this guy. It's not safe anymore, buddy. So someone said, we have a bunch of kids born into low-income family who many are refugees. The mothers are popping out 10 kids at a time. You know why, honey? To get that money. And then what do? They send them out in the street to play from sun up till sun up. And they don't know where they are. They're in a McDonald's parking lot fighting. while they sit there and collect them benefits and their children are running the streets. And there's more than one race that does this. I've seen white people do this. Not recently. I can't think of the last time I walked into a damn movie theater and it was 10 little white kids acting a fool. I just can't remember the last time, but I'm sure it's happened. It's just a lot rarer than other races. If you don't want to love and raise your kids, give them to somebody who will. Mothers are popping out 10 kids at a time. The low-life fathers are bitching about Somalian politics and drinking tea at the Starbucks with no intentions of raising their 10 children. Interesting. The teen boys start to imitate ghetto culture, sagging pants, doing drugs, committing crimes, and speaking Ebonics. They have no interest in education, are at the bottom of every metric that's good and at the top of every metric that is bad. Our community is filled with single mothers. Just go to any high school graduation. At best, it's 70% moms and 30% dads. What happened to our culture? It's crazy. Someone else said it's crazy how many kids have their scholarships taken away and after that they're locked up. No, absolutely not. You're not going to pull on my fucking heartstrings with your lies. So someone is alleging that Somalian mothers are formidable, but most Somalian fathers are busy tracking and making money and to completely busy and forgot about their kids. Providing for your kids means nothing if they can't have a future. So the Somalian community let Somalian boys down very much. All these youth centers are completely scam. I can't wait until they're exposed like the feeding our future scam. You will rarely see the fathers with their kids. And why would a kid from Somalia be given scholarship money that should have went to an American citizen? What am I missing? This is America. This is not Somalia. If you want a scholarship, then take your ass home and get you a scholarship. What am I missing? I don't give a fuck that their country is in shambles. Our country is in shambles. So, hold on one second. So it looks like Tim Walz opened up Minnesota's immigrants, that he allowed the immigrants in. It actually started way back in like 2015 or 16. He petitioned Trump to allow more refugees to come here. Trump denied that, and then he petitioned Trump again, and at some point in 2017, the gates opened. Critics of Minnesota's governor, Tim Walz, who was recently named... So when was this? This was back in August of last year when they were running, when Kamala Harris and Tim Walz was running against Trump and J.D. Vance. Somalia gangs began growing in Minneapolis in the late 90s and early 2000s as refugees escaped civil war in their home country. Not our problem. We have civil war on our own fucking soul right now. Not our problem. I'm so sick of this. This is why I'm poor. This is why I live out of a fucking car. So let's see. We're going to get the history right now because I was wrong. Always am. Minnesota has always been a welcoming place for new immigrants, and we have no problem with that. But back in 2008 through 2012, at the beginning of Walz's administration, I told y'all he was bad. Nobody listens. The refugee population continued to grow, and grow. And it went unchecked for almost, what is that? Over 10 years. From 2008 until 2024. So there was a Stanek. He testified about the Somalian gangs before Congress in 2012, saying that they were unique compared to the traditional American gangs because they don't deal in narcotics as much as their organized criminal groups. Let me tell you what they do deal in: prostitution, human trafficking, sex crimes. In November of 2010, 29 suspected Somalian gang members were indicted for prostitution trafficking operations, according to the blah, blah, blah. Over a 10-year period of time, Somalian gang members transported underage females from Minnesota to Ohio to Tennessee for prostitution. Now, this dates all the way back to 2010. We could have nipped it in the bud. Typical crimes committed by Somalian gangs: credit card skimming, witness tampering, intimidation, store burglaries, a terrorism nexus to gang activity. Wow. In 2007, a local Somalian community started to report that some of the youth in the area had essentially disappeared without warning. It was later learned that 20 young men had left Minneapolis to travel to Somalia to receive training and fight as members of Al-Shabaab. Lovely. Ain't that a terrorist group? Al-Shabaab. I'm surprised I even know that word. Al-Shabaab. No, not Bathsheba. Al-Shabaab. Terrorist organization. Yes, it's a terrorist group. Out of Somalia. And then we wonder why we got motherfuckers getting mentally infiltrated, blowing up shit with ISIS flags. We just letting them into the fucking country. We just letting them into the country. So, Al-Shabaab is the militant wing of the Somalian Council of Islamic Courts that took over most of southern Somalia in 2006. So this is why people are fleeing from there. Not our problem. Somewhere down the line, they did something that led to this. I don't know if they voted people in. I don't know if they didn't have backbone. I don't know if they were fucking sheep. But whatever they did led to their country being taken over by a terrorist organization. Not our problem. So sorry. It's ridiculous. So Tim Walz has been pushing since 2008 to let these refugees in here. And it's absolutely wreaked havoc on Minnesota. Absolute havoc. And they've continued to come in. And in the past 5 years, we've seen close to 100,000 come through the borders. And where did they land? Great question. Minnesota. So this is, I see why that woman was pissed yesterday in that video. She's probably exhausted. She probably gets no sleep. She probably lives in a neighborhood where people are wreaking havoc. And she's a mom with a kid. She's exhausted. I mean, I don't even need to know the situation. I read these numbers and I know exactly what the fuck is going on. The state accounts, Minnesota accounts for 25% of all ISIS recruits in the country. Top line. I'll read it again. Minnesota accounts for 25% of all ISIS recruits in the country. So that's the breeding grounds for terrorism. Interesting. And Tim Walz is the one that pushed for this. Interesting. Y'all, I'm getting a better idea of what they were fucking planning now. I've been saying for 3 years that they were planning something. COVID really showed me that they wanted to kill us all and have complete power and control over our lives and throw us into a communist state. I have no doubt that they would have used illegal immigrants to destroy this country somehow. They were sending them back to Somalia to get training, to fight, to come back here. Listen to this. One neighborhood in Minneapolis called Cedar Riverside has been nicknamed Little Mogadishu due to the area's large concentration of Somalian immigrants. Mogadishu is the capital of Somalia. So they're renamed, they come here, they hang their flags, and then they rename our cities for us. I've been seeing this all across the country, specifically South Florida, but the neighborhood saw a 56% increase in violent crime. The neighborhood saw a 56% increase in violent crime. I think people fail to realize that America is the greatest country on earth because we do have law and order, and we have a certain level of respect that some countries don't. When you get mass quantities of people from other countries, they're not going to respect our customs here. And that's exactly what is taking place all over this country. Oh my God, it's 500,000. Of Minnesota's 500,000 persons, Somalians are currently the fastest growing group behind Mexicans. This is crazy. I didn't know that they also had a problem in Minnesota like this. So it looks like there's 89,000. So how many people live in Minnesota? How many people live in Minnesota? $5 million. Y'all want to know how much money they've had to spend? Y'all want to know how much money they've had to spend? So the project to accept all of these refugees, they originally projected that it would cost $196 million over the next 4 years. But Minnesota is now on the hook for an estimated $550 million. And the Torkelson said that number is growing by the day, with Minnesota facing a $6 billion deficit during the next budget period. I mean, I don't feel bad for them. Just like I don't feel bad for North Carolina. This is their choice, and they've made their choice, and they've made their bed, and they're gonna lie in it. Health insurance alone is going to cost over $600 million. That is fucking insane. It says, how much is Minnesota paying for undocumented people addressing Minnesota care? So $550 billion plus $600 million for health insurance for these people who are here illegally for 4 years. The state budget in office projects the cost for the next 4 years would be around $600 million. Federal law requires hospitals, and I'm not saying they shouldn't get medical care, but they should have to pay for it. Oh, 20 hours ago, Trump is in the news. Trump effort to identify sanctuary cities could threaten funding in Minneapolis. Y'all want more money for more? Some people never learn, do they? They never learn. They out here wanting more money. So President Donald Trump's executive order seeking to identify local jurisdictions that withhold cooperation with federal immigration enforcement could put millions of dollars in federal aid for critical services at risk. We don't care. If they're here illegally, they're getting deported. That makes them a criminal. We don't care. Minnesota, y'all could break off and wash out into the sea. We wouldn't even notice. This is how disappointing this is. Y'all billions of dollars in debt, and y'all just gonna dig your toes in even deeper. Y'all just putting them nails in the coffin, honey. I didn't know that people could be so stupid. I don't think that I got the shit end of the stick. I don't. The more that I learn about things like this, the more I realize I could be a lot worse off. You know? Like, really a lot worse off. So they're saying all these refugees are, they're going to be on the street because they ain't going to have no housing. Here, let me show you something. Do I look like I give a fuck about them being on the street? They are the reason I'm on the fucking street. I go to social services and ask for help, and I'm a little white girl. They don't want to give me no help. Here's an idea. How about we put them on the street, and they go through hell out here for a good couple weeks, and then we can give them the option if they want to go home or stay on the street. What do you think they'll pick? I think they'll go home. It's ridiculous. And you know, the fucked up part about all of this is these people who care more about themselves and the American dream, that they come and sit on their ass, okay? They're not working towards the fucking American dream. These people that are here illegally have been committing crimes and soaking up benefits. Not all of them, but most of them. It's a shame that they would do this to their children. Drag your child across state lines illegally, putting you and your child in danger. I feel like people like that ought to be in jail. You didn't come here for a fucking American dream. Open your fucking eyes. Look around you. Ask questions. Every motherfucker in North Carolina that flocked to that state is soaking up fucking government money. 67% of the funding in North Carolina went to illegal immigrants from 2021 to 2024. 67% of the state's budget went to illegal immigration. It's ridiculous. So I don't know what Trump plans to do. I mean, I don't know why he can't just send ICE in there. Why can't he just send ICE in there? And you know, the crazy thing is that white woman on the playground calling that little boy the N-word, the man that was filming that, he's an illegal alien. So why wasn't he not arrested on the spot? Great question. Great question. All I can advise is to stay the fuck out of Minnesota. People be like, you need to come up north. For what? To deal with this shit? Bye. I know where to stay out of. Connecticut, Minnesota, Long Island, New York. Not for me, honey. Not for me. They've lost their minds. And anybody that lives there, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry you were stuck in a communist state. I'm so sorry. If it ain't south of the Florida-Georgia line, I don't want to fucking be there. These people down here fucking get it. Minneapolis alone received more than $55 million in federal funds last year for workforce development training, rapid rehousing for people experiencing homelessness for their refugees from Somalia. This is crazy. Yeah, and he should. So apparently last week, Trump said that he was going to cut the federal funding to Minnesota to prevent illegal immigrants from just living off of our tax dollars, right? St. Paul Mayor Melvin Carter, he should probably be in jail, issued a statement last week saying that Trump's threats to cut federal funding puts $260 million at risk that affect affordable housing, infrastructure, and emergency response services. Let me tell you something. I don't even need to dig into the facts. I can tell you right now that that federal funding is going towards illegal immigrants and not to the fucking citizens. And that's the very problem. That's what happened in North Carolina. That's what happened in Springfield. That's what happened in Aurora. Tim Walz needs to be in jail. And this mayor too, Melvin Carter. And I don't even know who the fucker he is. But the fact that he is standing on this kind of ground tells me who his character is. He's willing to sell out his own citizens just to make a little bit of money on the side. It's crazy. Cut the funding, Trump. Cut it. Cut that shit today. We got American citizens being laid off more than ever before right now. They can't afford rent. They can't afford food. They can't afford gas to go look for a new job. And we are still giving money to illegals who came here to wreak havoc on this country. They're committing crimes. They're harming children. They're kidnapping and raping children. Kidnapping and raping women. Organized crime, sex trafficking, drug selling, gangs. It's ridiculous. Ridiculous. So it looks like 5 days ago there was a huge fight in Minnesota over giving undocumented Minnesotans health insurance. They're not Minnesotans. They're fucking Somalians. The fight over giving undocumented Somalians health care insurance. There, I fixed it. CBS News. They're not Minnesotans. They don't even have a fucking citizenship. This is the first year that Minnesota is providing undocumented workers with the state health insurance. Let me ask y'all something. I don't have fucking insurance. Do you? How much do you pay for that? Do you think that someone that came here breaking the law, crossing our borders illegally, should get health insurance just because they fucking work? Is this a joke right now? Because half of us don't have insurance. When did breaking the law become the new good? For real, think about what I'm saying. So if you just break the law and come here illegally, you can get a job, an apartment, free food, and now free health insurance? Democrats, as well as hospitals, doctors, and nurses, are lobbying to keep the benefits for undocumented patients. Y'all know how bad I need to see a doctor right now? This shit infuriates me. Like, if one of these doctors was in my face, I'd probably punch them. Just for GP. Just for the principle. This is fucking insane. Republicans at a new... See, and this is why you Republicans, you cannot give an inch. Because if you give an inch, they're going to take a fucking mile. You simply got to say no. Fuck that. Go back to where you fucking come from. Republicans at a news conference this week said the number of undocumented residents signing up for state health care was way more than expected. It's like feeding wild birds or wild cats, okay? Once the roaches have a food source, they stay. How do you go to college and enter into politics and you just ain't got no common sense? We've got to do better electing motherfuckers, y'all. I mean, it's crazy at how dumb these motherfuckers are. What did you think was going to happen? So far, almost 20,000 undocumented residents have signed up. Good. ICE, go get that list. Go get that list. Why are these people not being deported is my first question. The original projection, they were expecting like 5,000 people to sign up for this health insurance, and almost 20,000 did. That's gonna cost the taxpayers over $600 million for the next 4 years. That is crazy. What about housing? So, oh, no way. Two days ago, Minneapolis homicide shooting connected to gang violence with Native community. I don't know which community. Four people died. 17-year-old boys out here shooting. Where's the parents? And why doesn't it tell me which community? Why do they word shit? Why not just say, it says native, so is that like some neighborhood native to Minnesota? I don't fucking know. They code word everything because they don't want to tell us the truth. So there was a shooting Tuesday. It was a mass shooting. They believe that it was targeted and gang related. Which gang? So sick of this shit. If you can't write it right, don't write it at all. So the FBI.gov has a website up talking about the Somalian gangs. They're called the Somalian Outlaws. Hold on one second. I'm going to go to Wiki to see what they are. Oh, great. So that's the Native gang. I'm so sick of the media. The Native gang is the Somalian gang that originated in the Minneapolis, St. Paul metropolitan area. So they call it a native gang so that you don't know that they're Somalians that did the shooting. But the native gang is called the Somalian Outlaws, which is an American Somalian gang that was made in Minnesota. That's the native gang. Do you get it? This is ridiculous. The fucking code word that I have to like read through the bullshit. The Somalian Outlaws is a street gang consisting of Somalian American youths. Mustafa Ali is the leader of the Outlaws, was shot 3 times in the chest and killed on October 11th of 19. The Outlaws' principal territory encompasses the area around Carmel Mall in South Minneapolis and the St. Paul, Minnesota. They are also located in the Cedar Riverside neighborhood. We just read about that one, which has a high concentration of Somali Americans and Somali immigrants, rival gangs. The outlaws' main rivals are the Hot Boys, which the gang was named after a high-rise apartment building in Cedar Riverside. Okay, I know exactly what's fucking going on. I know 100% what's going on. So here we have a gang that was running Cedar Riverside prior to all of these Somalians coming into the city. Once the Somalians started coming in, they're the new native gang. Shit started to pop off in Cedar Riverside, okay? This is how gang retaliation works. This is what we saw happen in Aurora with the TDA gang. A shooting on one gang's turf can be followed for hours and sometimes minutes later by a shooting in a rival gang's area. How dangerous. Imagine trying to raise children in Cedar. So disturbing. Minnesota is home to the largest number of Somalian immigrants in the U.S. Oh, wow. So in the beginning of 2007, more than 20 Somalian Americans left Minnesota in order to train and fight for Al-Shabaab in Somalia. This included a 26-year-old Shawara Aham, a Somalian-born American citizen who on October 29th of 2008 became the first documented suicide bomber. Lovely. More than 20 young Somalians have been convicted in the U.S. District Court of Minnesota on terrorism-related charges. People take this terrorism shit way too lightly. Y'all, I lived through 9/11. Y'all take it way too fucking lightly for me. This is not something to be fucking playing around with. And we have our own soldiers in our military being infiltrated by ISIS. And then we're just letting any and every illegal immigrant into this country that says that they're a refugee. What could go wrong? And we've already seen what could go wrong. We've already seen what could go wrong. Beginning in 2013, the Islamic State of Iraq and Levant began recruiting Somalia's Minnesotans to travel overseas to fight with the terrorist organization. Crazy. It's absolutely crazy. Seven Minneapolis area Somalian men have been killed over a 10-month period of time. They believe all were killed by fellow Somalians who are believed to belong to gangs. And I get mixed numbers. I see one time they say 130,000, then they say 89,000, now they say 32,000. You can't get a clear answer because they don't want you to have a clear answer. They don't want you to know how many people come here illegally. What did they tell us? 11? And we know that it's probably double of that. They said 11 million and it's probably closer to 22 million. So they have a huge issue with gang violence in Minnesota because of the illegal immigration issues that they've allowed to happen. I mean, they're not coming from the best place. So, you know, I think people are really dumb and they don't realize that when we leave those borders open that we're accepting everybody's problem. And a lot of these countries have extreme problems, a lot of which we don't have. We have law and order to dictate what is wrong and right here. They don't have that in other countries. So when these people come there, Here, they don't respect our customs. They don't have respect for the law because they don't even know what law is. There was a woman, Uniki. Who's the woman that fled from North Korea? Yeonmi Parks. Yeonmi Park is an American conservative activist, and she left North Korea, where she was under a Korean dictator, Kim Jong-un, correct? I don't know. And she had to flee North Korea with her mother. They were sex trafficked. They were sold. I mean, she had a horrible time at 13 years of age trying to flee North Korea. I would advise that everybody go listen to her give a speech on love. She talks about how in a communist country there was no such word. They didn't even have a concept of love in North Korea. They do not. They are taught to love their leader, but there's no word for love. It's more like worship. They are taught to worship their dictator like a god. They have no concept of freedom of speech, of expressing emotions. She talks about how she had no concept of love because she was living in North Korea. I think that a lot of people can't fathom how broken down some other societies are and the problems that they have because Americans have it so good here. As I'm always saying, until you go through something, you can't conceptualize something. You might think that you have an understanding of what it must be like, but until you go through it, you can't. I think that, is it Unami? I love her. Love her, by the way. She has a funny video with Andrew Schultz. He actually had her on his podcast. So if you like Andrew Schultz, you can actually hear this woman talk to Andrew Schultz on his podcast. Her name is spelled Yeonmi Park. Amazing story. But women like her, to see how grateful she is now, is how all of these people who are being disrespectful and committing crimes, that's how they should be acting. And they're not. If someone went out of their way to help you immigrate here so that you have a better life, why would you not be respectful to the citizens that you are going to have to live with every day? For instance, when I went to Mexico, I was trying to speak Spanish to be respectful. I was curious. I wanted to know. I wanted to fit in by speaking Spanish. We are not seeing the same respect being given that we gave. Do you know what I mean? You know what I mean? You know, between the car meetups and the organized crime and the killing of women and children, I'm over it. I'm over it. I have no doubt in my mind that one of the reasons that I was not given help, housing, stuff like that, was because I was white. And now, seeing the statistics that I saw out of Forsyth County, North Carolina, I know that to be a fact. It's disturbing how American citizens were forgotten about and other citizens were brought here and given money, housing, insurance. It's got to stop. It has to stop. In Minnesota, they are... That's crazy. $600 million for just health insurance, and then an additional $550 million just to house these people. Just in Minnesota. That's crazy. So they're sticking the nail in their coffin, and they're digging their toes in, and they're going to stand up for all of these illegal gang members. I mean, they're not all gang members, but a good portion of them are. And they're having more children, and they're not watching their children. They're not teaching their children. We already have problems with that in America. Who thinks that adding to the problem is going to help the problem? Because I don't. We can't even reform the bad behaviors that we have on American soil with our own fucking citizens. So why bring different cultures of gang members, TDA, Al-Qaeda, ISIS, why bring that here to spread around to the masses? We are in deep shit. And don't be surprised. I've been saying it for years, and sure enough, they've been popping off one by one. Just don't be surprised when we're attacked on our own fucking soil. Don't be surprised. We did it to ourselves by not having policy and procedure while bringing illegals here. We just let them in one after one like little ants coming over the border, and we didn't think about the legal or long-term ramifications of that. And now states like North Carolina, that is absolutely a sanctuary city. I don't give a fuck if they call themselves that. The way you pay attention to a person's behavior. North Carolina, Minnesota, Springfield, Ohio, all of those cities that have adopted leftist propaganda that are pushing democratic beliefs and policies, all they're doing is sealing their fate. Mark my words, they'll still be in debt 30 years from now from this. And they're still going to be dealing with the legal ramifications of it. These people are now out here shooting and killing each other. They got gangs popping off in Minnesota. Let's see what the biggest gangs are in Minnesota. What are the biggest gangs in Minnesota? I fucking hate Google, y'all. What are the list of Somalian gangs in Minnesota? Here. So it's the Hot Boys, the Somalian Mafia, the Mahaban with Attitude, the Outlaws. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 different gangs linked back to Minnesota. They were started in Minnesota by refugees of the Somalia. So some of these people, a good majority were already gang members prior to coming here, and all they did was come here and start a new gang and implement the same behavior that they were implementing in Somalia. It's ridiculous. You know, what pisses me off the most is this administration can pay for private security for their children. They just genuinely don't give a crap about our children. The Somalian Outlaws, they originated in Minnesota. I just read that. It's giving me the same shit. I'm so sick of these outlets. Oh, but here it says drugs. The Somalian Outlaws are a Somalian American gang that originated in the Minneapolis-St. Paul metro area. And under activities, it says drugs. Very interesting. And their leader was killed in 2019, but it still operates. I mean, that's a terrorist organization on our soil. Those are not Americans. Those are Somalians. So this is a terrorist organization. So it looks like they've got from Oak Park Heights to Bloomington to St. Cloud covered with gangs. I've never even been to Minneapolis, but from St. Cloud all the way down to Oak Park Heights, Hudson, all the way down south to Faribault and Northfield, the gangs are everywhere. How fucking sad. So it looks like the Somalian gangs, the Somalian outlaw has been implicated in various crimes, including human trafficking, and has been a focus of law enforcement efforts. I'm looking for actual crimes, and of course Google doesn't want to give me shit. So there was 18 people charged with stealing $9.5 million against Medicaid funds. 8 were charged with defrauding Medicaid of $2.6 million, and 5 people with stealing more than $10 million. So it looks like last month 5 people were found guilty. In total, more than 70 people have been charged in the scheme to bulk the federal government for more than $250 million, meant to feed hungry children during the pandemic. These were Somalian people that stole this money. Somalia set up a plethora of businesses and nonprofits to meet the needs of their community, and then they stole the money. So these people came here as refugees, and then they stole millions of dollars. Yeah, I know, Tim Walz is the devil. Like, seriously, horrible human being. I don't see how people don't see it. But then they thought Kamala Harris was a good person too. So that tells you all you need to know about somebody. Anyone that thinks that Kamala Harris is a good person is a horrible person. Now, maybe they think, benefit of the doubt here, maybe they think Kamala is good and they're just ignorant to the fact that this woman is evil. Maybe they just don't know any better. But if you know her and you know her history, just like Tim Walz, then you know that they're evil people. How could you support somebody like that? Supporting someone like that makes you just as bad as the person that you're supporting. You're guilty by association of being evil because you believe in that evil. So all of these people were illegal immigrants from Somalia that stole this almost $250 million. Y'all, this bra is killing me. I really need some more, like, sports bras that don't hurt. Y'all, I ain't trying to be funny, but sometimes when I see fat people, I get the ick because they're bullies. Because they're bullies. That's why. Every time I see some heavyset bitch, I'm like, oh God, here we go. Ain't it sad? Why is it that they let themselves go and then they feel entitled to bullying skinny pretty girls? Why is that? You did that to yourself. You let yourself get that fat. You chose to eat those donuts and ice cream. And then you think you have the right to treat me like shit because you feel like shit? This bullying culture with this body positivity movement, that shit's gonna end this year. I'm making sure of it. You ain't got no right to treat me funny because you let yourself get fat as fuck. Grow up. And eat an apple. Eat an apple so you don't look like one. I literally am over here looking for something to wear so I can work out. And I step out the car and there's this big bitch back there staring me down with her ugly ass dog. First of all, Susan, I can tell that you're ashamed of your body, so you wear big t-shirts all the time because you let yourself go. It is 80 degrees outside. If I want to look like this, I have every right to. It's 80 degrees outside. These fat bitches down here in Florida, they see a skinny pretty girl and they feel some type of way. And then if their husband's close by, oh God, they go insane. They start reaching for him. They will. They start, oh, let me get my husband. Let me get that's my husband. Bitch. Bitch. Don't flatter yourself. Nobody wants him. He was just as big as you, if not bigger. Like, Lord have mercy, what is wrong with people? I've talked about this before. I can always tell a healthy marriage from an unhealthy marriage. They reaching for each other's hand as soon as they see me. First of all, I don't want neither one of y'all. Second of all, don't flatter yourself. Like, it's ridiculous. People's marriages are on the rocks, and I have to deal with it every day. I have to deal with it every day. Every time they see me, they grabbing that husband, honey. Girl, you know, if you put a little effort into taking care of yourself, you won't feel like that. Yeah, you won't feel insecure. Just put a little effort in. Hey. Oh, I thought it was an apple. I was about to hold an apple up. It's laundry detergent. Never mind. I was going to say, here's you a snack. Pick this instead of a donut. And you'll feel better about yourself, and you won't be out here acting weird every time you see a girl that's semi-attractive. I'm not even that hot. And they be acting crazy. Grabbing that husband like I want his dumb ass. Girl, I'm surprised you even want him. It's crazy. I stepped out the back of the truck to find my bra because this one's giving me a headache. And this bitch looks me up and down, eyeing me like, girl, if you don't go to fuck on with your damn baked bean looking self. And then she's like, stops and like waits for her husband. Girl, bye. Bless your heart. Why don't girls talk about that? Because I know I'm not the only one. It happens to me every day. I get fat people that try to bully me every day. So why don't we talk about things that actually matter to reform these behaviors? Because I'm sick of it. You ain't gonna bully me because you put yourself into a condition that makes you look crazy. How does that even have anything to do with me? You chose to get that fat. And this is coming from somebody who used to weigh 200 pounds, so I can say it. Sit around getting fatter, feeling sorry for yourself, eating your fucking feelings, and then you get out in these streets and you try to bully people. Not this one. Not this one. Be sitting there saying, I love myself. No, you don't. No, you don't. People that love themselves respect themselves, and they carry themselves like they respect themselves. They care about what they put in their body. They care about how much water they drink. They care about how many steps they're getting. That's loving yourself. Not putting on some fucking fake eyelashes and popping another fucking Plan B during your fucking hangover. People are really delusional out here. I don't get it. And then they're like, oh, she's fat phobic. No, I'm not fat phobic. I'm a fucking realist. I'm a fucking realist. These bullies be out here in the street feeling some type of way every fucking day, and I got to deal with it. It's crazy to me how mentally decrepit society has become. That's a personal choice. To get fat is a personal choice. It took me a year, a little over a year, to gain 80 pounds. And it was a personal choice. Maybe unintentionally, subconsciously. But I knew I was getting fat as I was getting fat. I sure did. Nothing fit. I felt horrible. I hated my body. At some point, I could have stopped. I could have stopped ordering DoorDash. I could have stopped drinking Jameson. But I chose not to. I chose to gain 80 pounds and let myself go. That's a personal choice, and I'm sick of the gaslighting. Oh, I got thyroid problems. Yeah, maybe 1 out of fucking every 5,000 has a fucking thyroid problem. People sit there with a thyroid problem and stuff down a fucking Wendy's biggie bag, 2 of them back to back, and be talking about, oh, I got a thyroid problem. Bitch, you just ate 4 cheeseburgers. That's not a thyroid problem. That's a fucking hamburger problem, bitch. The audacity. You don't get that big eating fucking fruit and vegetables. Then you want to come out here and give me a side eye when I'm damn stepping out my car. Bitch, you got the right one today. If you're that ashamed of what you look like that you got to be completely covered to go to the beach, that's your fault. You let yourself get to that state. I ain't trying to sound heartless. I'm just being fucking real. I've been to that state. I used to weigh 200 pounds. God, it's the hand grab that gets me. They'll be walking. They'll be kind of far apart. And then all of a sudden, you'll see the woman reaching for the man's hand like this. She's going crazy. She's like, oh, I got to get near him. And she'll be grabbing that man up. Yeah, she'll be wrangling him in. My husband. Girl, first of all, y'all ain't even married. He won't put a ring on it because you don't respect yourself, clearly. And nobody wants him. Give me a break. He doesn't even look like he works out. Why would somebody who works out want to be with somebody who doesn't? Here's your sign. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Lord, let's go to the beach. Let's go to the beach. Good morning, y'all. People's behavioral patterns really just like, they're funny to me. It's like, you know, you wouldn't be acting like that if you just put a little bit of care into yourself. All that neediness, all of that insecurity, all of that neediness, the fact that you need constant gratification, you need constant reassuring. You wouldn't be like that if you loved yourself. You can't tell them nothing, though. 2025. Let that be the year that you love yourself over everyone and everything. Oh, God. Come on, lady. Come on, lady. I actually had the right of way, but whatever. A fucking Honda Pilot just stole my parking spot. Should I say something? I'm in the mood. It's a fat bitch husband. You want to? Let's see if they get out. I actually had the right of way to take my parking spot.
So listen, I was at the stop sign
Okay.
before you got to the
Get away from my car. No, you weren't, you dumb bitch. I was sitting there. So listen, that fucking accent told me all I needed to know. I have to get away because I'll literally smash the shit out of her face. You don't understand. This is why I'm a triple felon. I was fucking sitting there. So listen. First of all, you don't even speak proper English because you sound like somebody is fucking you up the ass right now with that high-pitched fucking noise. So listen. Stupid bitch. And look, we're always the usual suspect. Honda Pilot with a bunch of kids. And what did she have in her hand? Did you see what she had in her hand? That's liquor. How much you want to bet? How much do you want to bet? Do you see how bad I'm shaking right now? I can't deal with people because I will literally stab somebody. I was literally sitting there. It's a four-way stop. It was my turn to go. And she went right across me. She went right across, ran the stop sign, and then pulled into a parking spot. What a dumb, fat fucking bitch. You saw what she looked like, right? She thinks that just because she can just do whatever she wants. That's how they are out here. And this is why I have to stay away from people because I have respect and they clearly, did you see her? Her hair's falling out, face breaking out. Clearly don't even have. You're missing the point. See, whatever that bitch just said, that's why half of y'all out here behave the way that you do because you have no level of fucking respect in society. I had the fucking right of way. I should have been able to get that parking spot. She ran a stop sign to cut me off and then whipped up in the parking spot. Classless bitch, raising her shitheads, raising her hellions to behave the exact same way that she does. And this is why the world looks this way. This is exactly why the world looks this way. Look at them. Look, do they look like they respect themselves? Look how big they are, raising their kids to be just like them. Stupid fucking bitch. Better be glad that I gave my life to God. She literally ran a stop sign and then whipped up in that spot. And she feels entitled to it because she has kids. And she's fat as fuck. So she's too lazy to walk. And I was actually going to be nice and let her go in front of me until she cut me off. And I'm like, oh, wow, okay. So you're rude as fuck. Liquor in your cup. I know there's liquor in it because it's a Stanley. That's what they do out here. You're not allowed to have it in glass, so you have to put it in Stanley. So she's drinking and driving, taking her kids to the beach with her mama, out there on the beach getting drunk with youngins. Must be just lovely to be such a piece of shit and not even have a conscience. Y'all, I'm about to leave this park and go to another park. This park has gotten overran with just disrespectful people. Seriously. There used to be, back, anyone that's been in the Mayport area since 2019, you know what I say is true. This park has become like a disastrous fucking area for disrespectful people. I should have never came to this one. I should have went to the other one. But it's fine. They come out here, they've been drinking all morning. Then they go out to the beach and they're drinking all day. I don't even drink alcohol. So to be around people that are drinking, it's really disturbing for me because it adds a layer of untrust in society. You know, when you're dealing with people that have drinking or drug problems, like a lot of these people do, it leaves uncertainty and it puts you in an unsafe environment. You know what I mean? you know you weren't, bitch. Now you're bold-faced fucking lying. Can't make this shit up. There's nowhere to go. I don't even want to be here. I'm going to the other one. Fuck it. There's stop signs at every road. Every car has to come to a stop before it can take off. Every single one. Listen. No, you listen here. Get your head out your fucking ass. And I know it's up your ass because of the way that you sound right now. I can't stand this valley shit. Bitches that talk like this get on my fucking nerves. Oh! Like, am I the only one that fucking hates that shit? I mean, it just irks the shit out of me. Tell me you're dumb without telling me you're dumb. The moment that you start talking like this, I realize that you have nothing important to talk about. Probably just your fake eyelashes and your nails. Or whatever liquor you got in your Stanley cup. Profiles. What are they called? What are they called? Profiles. Stereotypes exist for a reason. Let's bring them all back. Bring them all back.
Continue on Wonderwood Drive.
Shut up. I'm giving my location away. I need a vape. That's another thing. Shit is trash. I'm so sick of these fake fucking vapes. This is not a real vape. These are not real. These are trash. They don't do the same. They cause me to have a migraine. I need a vape. I'm not going to quit smoking until I reach 1 million followers. I can't afford to quit smoking. It would put me into a predicament where I'm going to kill somebody like that bitch. Raising hellions to act the exact same way that she does. And couldn't y'all see it on camera? At the angle, you should have seen that she pulled up right after I stopped. So, yeah, I'll play that back later. Like, regardless, I wish that you could have seen it when she crossed over. It was like she was on a mission to get that parking spot. It's like, whoa, bitch, it's not that serious. But if you want to make it that serious, I'll turn this into a teachable moment to teach people how to not behave. And look at her. Did you see her? Okay. Need I say more? Usual suspects. It's always some bitch that ain't got no time to take care of herself, hating on a bitch somewhere in the world. You know what I mean? You don't get into that physical state overnight. That is years of letting yourself go. Okay? I just want to be clear. She didn't go to sleep a 19-year-old beautiful girl and then wake up the next day looking like that. That is years of self-abuse, alcohol abuse, mental health abuse. I'm talking about the prescription drugs. That's why all these people's hair is falling out. That's also why they're fat, because they're being stuffed full of prescriptions that they don't need. Oh, your lithium and Serical's not working. Let's put you on fucking Xanax and I don't know what else. Depakote. Like, all of those drugs come with severe side effects, usually weight gain. And then the fact that they're absolute psychos just is the icing on the cake. Okay, it's mental health meds. Is it alcohol or mental health meds? I really don't know half the time, but Kamala Harris, I'm pretty sure she's on both, and she was about to run a country. So don't call me crazy when I tell you that people like that are on drugs. Alcohol, mental health drugs, same fucking thing. Self-hatred, depression, same fucking thing. It's always some fat fucking bitch that's got a problem. Always. Every time. Every time. And this shit is so expensive here. It drives me crazy. That's why my head's hurting from those vapes. That's 100% why my head's hurting. What are these idiots doing? God, I hate these fuckers on these bikes. Y'all are annoying. They're not even good bikes. They're the shit bikes made out of plastic. The only bike worth buying is a bike that's actually made out of metal, honey. What's the point of a fiberglass fucking bike? I don't get it. Crotch rockets are so ugly. If it ain't a Harley or an Indian or one of the classics, what's the point? It completely defeats the point. Oh, because you want to look fun with your little shithead friends, with your little piece of shit friends. Fuck y'all. Bunch of bitches. Bunch of bitches putting their children's lives in danger. Those are the motherfuckers that come down there and rev their engine when I'm trying to fucking sleep. Bunch of 22-year-old little brats. I wonder how many of them will be alive in a few years. How many was that? Just like 10 of them? I wonder, statistically speaking, probably 3 or 4 of them will be dead. Accidents, motorcycles. Your chances of death goes up significantly, just not having anything to protect you. And then you ain't even on a real bike. You on a piece of plastic, homie. You riding the witch's plastic broom off of fucking Wizard of Oz, and you think it's cute. I feel like they're a nuisance to society, and I hate it. It's disgusting. Tell me that you're a child without telling me a child. A man buys a Harley. A man buys a bike that's worth a fuck. Children buy crotch rockets until all of their friends die, and then they retire it out. Ask me how I know. I have brothers, 5. Ask me how I know. They're a nuisance to society, and the way that they behave on those bikes, they should face legal criminal charges for the way that they look at this old man on this Harley acting so responsible. Do you know that kid just went through that light doing donuts in that intersection? Did I say that as he was doing it? I should have said that. There was a kid on a bike that was doing donuts in that intersection just now when we were sitting back there. I ain't never seen no Harley owner act like that in an intersection. Stop traffic. Lunchtime traffic on a Saturday afternoon, putting people's lives in danger. Usual suspects. Usual suspects. Why don't we never see no 60-year-old man out here ripping it up on a crotch rocket, acting an idiot, putting people's lives in danger? Why is it always 20-year-olds? Look at this respectable man driving like a normal human. No need to cause a scene to get attention because he's a child, like a toddler looking for attention. This is where that man's car was stolen. So sad. Yeah, I know you couldn't. That's the whole point. That's the whole point. They got to be on one of them piece of shit bikes to damn even get it to damn do a donut. He was going around the intersection. It's a 4-way busy intersection, and he's out. So he went to go across the street, and he got the light, but his friends didn't get the light. So what does he do? He comes across the street. He goes in front of me, hits a side street, comes back out, goes through a lane of traffic on the opposite side of the road that he's not even supposed to be in, and then veers back to where his buddies were. So he did a complete loop-de-loop around the entire intersection just to get back to his friends because he caught the light and they didn't. Well, one of the first rules of riding is to never leave a buddy behind. If you already made it through the fucking light, then you can pull off on the side of the road and wait for the light to change for your buddies to catch up. What idiot, what child that's stupid, that doesn't need to be on a bike, goes through 4 lanes of oncoming traffic, two lanes of oncoming traffic to get back to his friends. Oh, someone whose brain is not properly developed yet. That's right. Yeah. Yep, I got it. Shit's wild. You are to never to leave someone behind, your riders. You're to wait on them ahead if you can. You don't go riding into oncoming fucking traffic, bro. Cars were literally slamming on brakes because they didn't know what to do. When I came up on the intersection, he was in my lane facing me. Lord. I could y'all want to just spend the whole day going around the city talking about how big these idiots are. Because I'm telling you, the content just makes itself. I can't wait till I have a dual picture, a dual camera. God, it stinks out here. Why does it always stink? It smells like ass. Mayport just stinks. Always smells like shit. I hope this evil guy's not in here. Oh God. No, it's a good guy. Thank you. Hey, can I do some Views Pods? The Golden Tobacco 5%. Thank you. Thank you. That's 5. Yep. Thank you. You have a good one. All right. They almost double the cost here. $28 for 4 of them. I can get 8 pods for like $39 in North Carolina. Whatever. It is what it is. I can't do nothing about it. It's better than killing somebody because everybody's fucking stupid. I see why my parents smoke now. I used to be angry at them smoking. Now I get it. I'm like, God, that's what they need just to deal with all these assholes out here. God, thank God they had cigarettes or I wouldn't have had a mama and daddy half the time that I did because they would have been in jail for murdering people. You know what I mean? I think that most of society just accepts it. I think most people just walk around accepting this bullshit. Fuck that, man. Fuck that. That vape gave me the worst. I'm literally about to throw those things in the trash because they give me migraines so bad. They're both just trash. This is why I don't buy this shit. I get scammed every time. It's the sweetness. They taste sweet. Why there would be sugar in my vape? Great question. Because they marketed them towards children. That's why. I cannot believe I went in there and forgot my vape. I'm not exaggerating when I say that they marketed them towards children. They did. 1 out of 10 kids smokes vapes right now. And here in Florida, DeSantis is passing laws for vape shop owners to have to dispose of specialty sweet vapes because the children are smoking them. You know what I mean? Y'all, it might look like it looks like it's about to rain. Let's see what the weather's gonna be. I don't like these games. If it's gonna rain, I just wish it would rain. If it ain't gonna rain, then I wish that it wouldn't. But they don't know. They just say 20%. Partly cloudy. The rest of the day is going to be partly cloudy with a chance of rain. Tomorrow it might rain. They keep changing it. Y'all know who I feel bad for? I feel bad for Caitlin Lau, you know, from Teen Mom. You know, she gave up rights to her daughter. So, where do I even start? So, there was this teenage couple back in the day, Caitlin and Tyler Coltabera. Listen, I can't think of their names. They were on Teen Mom, and they got pregnant at 16, and they had this baby. Her name was Carly. And in recent years, so they gave this baby up for adoption to this Christian family. And in recent years, this Christian family will not let this couple see their kid. Even went as far as to block Caitlin and Tyler on all social media platforms. Well, now Caitlin has come out in a new report stating that she was coerced and manipulated at 16 to sign the rights of her daughter over. And I believe every word of it. I believe every word of it. I've tried to explain to people before that these guardian ad litems are not your friend. These guardian ad litems are the ones that they are designated by the state or the government to care for the well-being of the child, but more often than not, what they really are is like the devil's advocate in these situations. And it's a horrible system that's been built to convince young girls to sign over the rights to their children before they even understand the implications of what they're doing. And I feel horrible for Caitlin and Tyler because I personally know how they feel. It's really sad. It's really sad that they can't see their daughter, because I know that they love Carly just like they love the children. They have multiple other children now. They have a very stable family. They have a secure, financially stable income. They both work, and I just think that they should be able to have a relationship with their daughter, Carly. I don't know. It's crazy because even when I went back and watched the episode, I could see how Caitlin was really the one that was having a problem letting go of Carly. She didn't want to. She was scared. And here's the thing. The craziest part is if she would have had the financial resources to take care of herself and that baby, her daughter would be with her. That's the part that people just don't get. It's like, wait a minute. So you're going to bash me and make me out to be a horrible mother because I can't afford to feed my kids. So I give my kid up for adoption, and then you bash me even further and make me out to be a horrible parent because I gave up my kid. This is exactly why I tell you ladies and other people, don't give a fuck what they say. Fuck those people. They don't matter. You're going to always be damned if you do and damned if you don't. Always. Life is a complete catch-22. You're always going to be penalized for shit that is out of your control. It's just the way that it is. I feel horrible for Caitlin and horrible for Tyler. And I know that if they would have had the financial resources to take care of their child at the time, then their child would still be with them. I'm in the same boat as them. So I get it. But she said that she felt manipulated and coerced to give up this baby. And I believe every word of it. And poor Caitlin and Tyler, they had horrible parents. Horrible parents. Do you think anybody looks at Caitlin and Tyler and says, oh God, those poor kids? No, they don't. They're adults now, and they get bashed for everything they do. Nobody looks at the fact that their parents were horrible. Caitlin's mother? For real right now? It's a miracle that Caitlin and Tyler even came out semi-fucking stable. But do you think that anybody looks at their upbringings and says, oh, these poor kids, they had all the cards, the worst deck of cards they could have had was dealt to them, and they still somehow managed to have a stable family, an income, and some sort of success? Nobody says that. People just bash them even more. People just bash them. They want to get online and talk about their poor parenting skills. Get online and just talk shit and break them down even more. It's crazy to me. It's crazy to me how society will destroy a person and then sit back and laugh. It's like, but wait a minute, these poor kids didn't have a shot in the dark to stand up to start with. Remember when Butch got out of prison? This is Tyler's father. Yeah, it is. He gets out of prison, and Tyler, who was only like 19 at the time, okay, 19. What were you doing at 19? I was in prison. He was 19 at the time, and he let Butch move in with him and Caitlin. Remember that? And then Butch, the father, starts going missing. Probably drugs, probably alcohol, running the streets. And Tyler, who's a child, has to sit his father down, who just got out of prison, and inform him that if he goes missing again, that he's going to have to kick him out the house. Who was the fucking parent in that scenario? The kids were more mature at fucking 16 than modern society. The majority of modern society. It's crazy to me. I feel so bad for Caitlin and Tyler because I know exactly how they feel. It's crazy to me how society will put you, the government will put you into a horrible family upbringing. They will allow you to be abused, tortured, sexually molested. And then when you become of age, they want to put you in the fucking court system too, by the way. That's very common. But then when you become of age, they beat down on you like you put yourself in that situation. Like you chose your parents and the upbringing that was dealt to you. It's crazy. So crazy. I feel so bad for them. And one thing that they did wrong that I don't agree with is Tyler opened up an OnlyFans. Now, it was just pictures of him shirtless. But still, I understand how the adoptive family probably did not like the route that Tyler was taking with his spicy content. I just think that it's irrelevant. What does that have to do with his relationship with his daughter? Were middle-aged women trying to knock down the adoptive parents' front home looking for Tyler? Like, I'm confused as to why we would even care that he had an OnlyFans. What does that have to do with his relationship with his kids? It's not affecting his children. If anything, it's financially helping them. This was just pictures of him shirtless. This wasn't him and Caitlin having sex or him throwing the microphone on the damn desk. This was none of that. This was him shirtless. And the adoptive parents had a problem with it and they blocked him. And now Caitlin comes out talking about how she was coerced into signing over rights to her daughter. I believe every word of it. It's been a huge financial system. These systems have been built to bring in money. I don't understand why the population doesn't understand this. And these children that are being funneled through, the Child Protective Services and the foster care system, they're being re-victimized through these systems. This is not beneficial for anyone. They're being re-victimized over and over. Now, there's some lucky ones that get adopted when they're infants and they have, a good adoption experience, but the bad far outweighs the good. The bad far outweighs the good. And these social workers and these guardian ad litems, they'll sit there and tell you lies, hoping that you sign over. They'll be telling these young girls that they have no way out. Imagine being a 16-year-old girl with a mother like Caitlin's, no father. Your 16-year-old boyfriend has no family that's worth a damn. And then you've got social services and a guardian ad litem whispering in your ear that the only way for your baby to be happy is for you to sign over that baby. This is what they do. They're predatory as fuck. They're predatory as fuck, as can be. They tell these young mothers that they have no out other than to sign over custody of their child. It's beyond predatory. It's illegal. It's a violation of civil rights. It's been going on through the Catholic Church and through our own fucking government for centuries. Centuries. Not decades, centuries. Unwed mothers through the Catholic Church was a whole fucking business. It's disgusting, and I feel bad for them so much. And, you know, I don't agree with everything that Caitlin and Tyler do, and it's not that I think they're these great people. I think they're pretty cool, you know, but, like, for me, it's on a personal level, knowing what they went through because I was there myself, and then knowing how predatory these communities are that adopt out children and take in children too, with the sole purpose of making money off of them. I have no doubt that Caitlin made that decision to sign custody of Carly over because she felt like she had no out. That's fucked up. So let me get this right. Let me get this right. So if you are too poor, you just don't get a relationship with your child. That's essentially what you're saying. That's what happened to me. Hey, thank you. I can't see that. Hold on one second. I'll stop. Thanks for becoming a channel member. So you're telling me that if you're too poor, you just can't have children. I mean, you shouldn't. But how can I say this? All right. Like Caitlin, she wasn't taught shit. Neither was I. I never had a sex talk with my parents. My parents never taught me about sex. That's how they do it in some places in the South. They just don't tell you. Caitlin was also one of those people. She was not aware of how having a child would impact her life and the financial repercussions that comes behind that. Okay? I'm the same way. That happened to me. I did not know anything about anything when I had my son. The government and adoption agencies use this tactic to manipulate young mothers into signing over custody of their children so that they can adopt them out. It's crazy to think that you grow up and you don't know anything about life, and because you simply do not have the tools to find a job or the resources to get to work, that you have to sign your child over because you don't have the financial stability to take care of that child. But it happens every day. And that's what happened to Caitlin. They told her that she should sign Carly over, and so she did. And I felt, and I know that she felt like she had no out. So you're telling me, I mean, it's the stealing of children. Why is it that a young mother has a baby and they won't help her with resources for her to get on her feet because they want to take that baby and adopt that baby out? But if she has children, let's say over the age of 5, then the government comes rushing in to give food stamps, housing, WIC, Medicare, all of that. And that's a whole thing, by the way, if you don't know that. They don't want to adopt that. They can't adopt out children over a certain age. They want babies. That's a whole thing in itself that I can't even scratch the surface on today. But that is true. The older the child is placed into state's custody and or an orphanage, the older the child, the less likely that child to be adopted. So there's, it's a hot commodity for babies. Is that what you call it? Babies are a hot commodity. Everybody wants a baby, specifically a white one, which is crazy. I just found out the other day that they got prices on these babies' heads. You go to another country to adopt a child, they'll give you a list. They'll put you on a list. If you want a white child, you're going to be on that list a little bit longer, and it's going to be more expensive to obtain a white baby. But if you want a black baby, the list ain't very long and it'll be cheaper. They'll even waive some of the fees so that you can adopt the black baby cheaper. It makes me sick. It makes me sick. That's human trafficking in a nutshell. I just want to say that. That's human trafficking. I'm going to call it what it is. You cannot put a price on a baby's head. And they're doing it all over this country, all over this world, and they have been for centuries. It's sick. And I feel horrible for people like Caitlin because I identify with her circumstances because it was very similar to my own. I think that everything was against her, and they knew that, and they played her like a fucking fiddle. And now, even after this family said that they were going to help her and stay in contact with her, now they've decided to cut Tyler and Caitlin out of this child's life, which is crazy. You know, I mean, honestly, I don't know, man. Call me crazy, but I think that if those adoptive parents really loved Carly, they would let Carly go see her siblings and Caitlin and Tyler on the weekends. See, that's called co-parenting. That's what co-parenting is. I understand that they adopted Carly, but if they really wanted what was best for Carly, Tyler and Caitlin would be seeing Carly, along with Carly seeing her siblings that Tyler and Caitlin have had since they gave up Carly. She has siblings. Her family, I understand that her family now is this adoptive family. What are we doing? This is the second fucking Honda Pilot today. That bitch at the park, and then this motherfucker that just cut through 3 lanes of traffic to cut in front of me. What is going on? Y'all, stereotypes exist for a fucking reason. That's the second Honda Pilot in less than an hour. This one's bright blue. The other one was bright red. Whoever got here first gets to go first. And you're turning, so I'm going to turn. Since you're turning that way, I can go this way. It's called killing 2 birds with 1 stone. I just feel like Carly's adoptive parents should be going out of their way to allow her to have a relationship with her parents and her siblings. Like, if they really wanted what was best for her. And here's the thing about them. These are Christian people, so they care about what people think too much. That's a Christian thing. Oh, God, what are the masses going to think? Fuck that. Fuck the masses. Half of the masses are fake Christians. Who cares what these fake Christians think of you? The only person you should be caring about thinking about you is God. So many Christians I see that care so much about what everybody thinks. Oh, I can't do that. What's the church going to think? I can't let my adoptive daughter go stay with her biological parents to get to know them and her siblings because people are going to think poorly because they were reality stars. That's why they blocked them after Tyler opened an OnlyFans, because of how it looks to the rest of society. We're at Walmart. It looks like it's about to rain, y'all. I had to use the bathroom so bad. I always have to use the bathroom. I feel so bloated. Probably from that nasty ass Taco Bell. Probably shouldn't have eaten that. I'm gonna grab something while I'm in here. I need to focus today on eating while I can. Damn Honda Pilots. That stupid bitch. I just have to make a point sometimes because, like, It's always some bitch that's got a bunch of kids that weighs 500 fucking pounds out here trying to start some shit. She's like, listen, I'm not listening to you. Why would I listen to you? You don't even know how to drive. Why do I want to listen to somebody that's rude as hell, cut me off, and didn't even see this big old damn truck? And then you try to lie and say that you were there first. Bitch, it's on camera. Lord, have mercy. Stupid bitch. And look, I feel a raindrop. Yep, it's about to rain, y'all. It says 10% or 20%. My left nut. I felt the raindrop. I knew it. I usually can tell when it's coming on. The clouds get dark. I had to find a bathroom. Yeah, why do I want to take advice for somebody who clearly has no respect? You have no respect. Why would I listen to you? I don't even want to hear a word you got to say. Because I already know it. She started off with a lie. No need to continue the conversation. Walk away. When people show you who they are, walk away. Don't be debating out here, having discussions with these people. It's not worth your time. Just drive off because their lies is enough to infuriate me. I had to go. That's what I said. I got to go. I just pulled off because she started with a lie. There's no reason to even continue this conversation. She's not rational, she's not logical, and she's lying to my face. Why would we continue? Do the same thing with everybody in your life. Your mama, your daddy, your grandma, your uncle, your cousin. The moment they start lying, walk away, shut the door, and block them. You'll be a lot happier. You won't feel crazy either because they've been sitting there gaslighting you for 20 years. You know? I gotta pee so bad. Can't even go out that way. They got music playing. I think it's gonna rain, y'all. Maybe it'll cool it off. I hope so, because it's hot already. Alright. I'm wondering what I need here. I don't know. Probably something like yogurt. Lord have mercy. Did y'all hear that? I wonder if that avocado that I got in the truck is ready. I don't know. I don't want to have to come back in here tonight, so I'm going to get something to cook or eat or something. I don't know. I have really bad anxiety when it comes to being in here on a Saturday because people are not respectful. Sorry. All that sugar from the Uncrustable. I'm gonna get this one for now. Cucumber. Oh, I want a smaller one. Oh my god, this place is a madhouse, y'all. Absolutely might help. Alright. I wish they'd do a half a chicken. They ain't worth a damn. Ugh, I gotta get out of here. This place is giving me anxiety. Jesus Christ. Damn it. I had to get money out for laundry. That's what I can do. Wash laundry because I look a wreck. Nope, $20. Why is my phone acting crazy? Anyone talking about committing crimes is going to be blocked. Lord. Yeah, these are so comfortable. They're old, but they're comfortable. I'm going out the garden section like I always do because people really just be slow poking. Don't be paying attention at all. I guess when all you do is sit and eat at Walmart, you're outing for the week, right? I used to be like that. The only time I used to leave the house when I lived in Charlotte was to go buy food and pick up DoorDash off my front porch. Lord, the music. I swear to God, it's a whole event just going up in there for some vegetables. I needed the money so I can wash laundry. Now the sun's coming back out. It's only a 20% chance of rain, but I felt raindrops a while ago dropping on me. And another thing, people don't realize that, like, how much pain and suffering Caitlin and Tyler have had to go through over the years because they made one poor decision by signing the rights of their daughter over, you know? People don't think about the agony, the absolute torture of not knowing, you know? It's crazy. It's really crazy how society harms these children, lets these children grow up, and then condemns the children for not knowing any better. You know what I mean? And then these poor kids, they're grown now, have been through absolute hell, pain and suffering wise, because they've never been able to develop a relationship with their kid. But society doesn't see it that way. Society just wants to condemn the parents. They just want to condemn those two children that were 16 when they had a kid. It makes me sick. Tyler, Caitlin, I feel for you. I feel for you. Been there, done that, you know. I feel for you. You were played out by the foster care system, condemned as parents, made to look like horrible people because you grew up poor, which is completely out of your hands. That's your parents' fault. And then society beats them down more and more and more, talks shit about them, acts like they didn't want their daughter, condemns them. It's a miracle that those children, that Caitlin and Tyler, who are now adults, it's a miracle that they're even semi-stable and functional people. What they went through does not breed functional people. It's crazy to me how society will look at somebody like my situation, growing up in foster care, growing up with parents that were abusive. You have the right of way. You ain't even got on the turn signal because you're stupid. Yeah, you're an idiot. Were you going straight? Were you turning right, or were you turning left? I don't know, because you didn't have on a turn signal. What was I about to say? What was I saying? I was on to something good. I forgot. That quick, sorry. It makes me so mad because, like, it's not even their fault that they're in that situation. Yeah, maybe Carly being conceived is their fault, but I'd be willing to go as far as that's not their fault. And I'll tell you why. Because they had no fucking guidance. They had no fucking guidance. Thanks for the turn signal, you douche. Thanks for the turn signal. Will you go? Jesus. Fucking stupid people everywhere. God. They had no guidance. So the fact that they had a child at 16, 17, 18 years old is no, it's not their fault. That's why parents are important. See, their parents should have been there watching them, not allowing them to run the streets. Not allowing them to fornicate under their roof. Their parents, Caitlin and Tyler's parents, Butch, and I don't know that lady's name, they allowed Caitlin and Tyler to fornicate under their roof, essentially. You allowed them to move in together, essentially. You moved them into the same house. What did you think was going to happen? So yes, I blame Butch and Caitlin's mother for the fact that Carly was even conceived, because good parents would have never allowed the conditions, okay? They would have stopped that shit at the front doorstep. Absolutely not. Your boyfriend's not moving in this house. And matter of fact, every time y'all hang out, I'm going to be chaperoning that shit. That's what a good parent does. Those kids were fucking doomed from the start, and the fact that they are even semi-stable is a miracle. Why is it that society lets children to be ruined, and then when those children grow up, society beats them down even more because those children who are now adults don't know how to stand there on their own 2 feet, but that's only because society allowed their parents to mistreat them. You know, like kids who go through the foster care system and then they end up in the Department of Corrections, getting further victimized, made out to be the problem, when they were never even given the tools to read or fucking write while in foster care. Call me crazy, but I just think that that's wrong. I think it's wrong. I think it's wrong. It's been done to me my whole life. I see it being done to people from Teen Mom. Amber Portwood is another one. Unpopular opinion. If you actually go back and watch Teen Mom, you'll see that Amber is actually a victim. Huge victim of Gary. But ain't it crazy how now she's the unfit parent? Her name has been dragged through the mud. She's been made out to be the bad guy. And let me tell you something. Amber was underage when Gary started fucking her. So technically, Gary should be in jail for messing with children. How does that get turned around? How does that get turned around? She was what, 14? He was in his 20s, if I'm not mistaken. I'll fact check that in a minute. But I do believe she was 14 and he was like 20, 21, maybe even 24. Amber had her apartment. When Leo was first born, Amber had her an apartment and Gary was living off of her at 15, 16 years old. Then he started cheating on her, manipulating her, gaslighting her, and mentally, verbally, and physically abusing her. And we saw Amber get abusive with him. But let me tell you why. Let me tell you why. Because I've played this game several times. Been down the road that Amber's been down. Several times. Let me tell you something. There's certain people out here that will psychologically, mentally, and spiritually abuse you. And they're hoping that you put your hands on them so that they can turn it around on you and make you out to be the bad guy. Some women and men that get psychologically tortured, like Amber was by Gary in 2009, they resort to physical violence because they don't know what's happening to them. They don't know how to understand their emotions and the psychological torture that they are going through, so they resort to hitting like Amber did. Amber was a child when Gary started messing with her. Amber was supporting his bitch ass, working multiple jobs and going to school. Gary wasn't even fucking working. I just want history to be remembered for what it was. That's why I'm saying this right now. Amber Portwood is crazy because of the drugs and psychological torture that has been done to her for the past fucking 15 years. And now they're painting it like she's a horrible mother. She's another one I feel really bad for. Really bad for. I'm not saying by any means that what Amber did hitting Gary was right. They were both wrong. But what I am saying is it was his psychological torture of cheating on her, abusing her, gaslighting her, and manipulating her that sent her over the motherfucking edge. And she ain't never been right since. Has she? She was so determined. She was full of ambition. She had dreams. She wanted to succeed. Go back and watch the first fucking season. First season. He snuffed the light out of her. He abused the light out of her. He made her out to be the bad guy. He gets a new wife. And I do think that his wife cares about Leah. I do. I think she's been a great mother. But it's crazy to me how society will see. There's video of everything I talk about. There's video of everything I talk about. Season after season. Season after season of Amber being abused and manipulated by Gary until the point. The first season she got on Xanax. That's when it all went downhill. And Amber has never been the same. And she's still on Klonopin and shit like that. Still on drugs. 15 years later. She had never even touched drugs. She was in school working multiple jobs, taking care of Gary and their daughter. And then he cheated on her. He would come home. Listen to this shit. He would come home. He would break up with her. And then he'd go fuck some other girl. And then 2 days later, he'd be crawling back through the door saying his sorries to fucking Amber. How much of that do you think that you could psychologically take on at 14 or 15? How do these things get turned around on these poor people? And these poor people that have obviously been through enough. How does this get turned around? Now, I don't like Amber Portwood. But there's no denying the facts. And the fact is that she was a child being messed with by Gary. And he severely psychologically abused her. It's all on fucking camera. She started taking prescription drugs that were prescribed to her by a doctor, and she ain't never been right in the head since. I see shit for what it is. And the reason she ain't never been a good mama, probably because she was on fucking Xanax, bro. It's not rocket science. It's a fucking narcotic. Come on, little Honda. Hyundai. If it was a Honda, I wouldn't have let you. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. I'm not petty like everybody else out here. But yeah, it's crazy to me. So now apparently Leah, Amber Portwood's daughter, has said that she wants to be adopted by Christine, who is Gary's new wife, who's raised Leah pretty much 12 years, 10 years. I just think that it's really sad that no one stepped in and said, whoa, Amber, you know, this guy isn't good for you. He's psychologically torturing you by cheating and destroying your self-esteem to keep you where he wants you in power and control, through power and control. I don't understand why people don't see things for what they are. He didn't even have a fucking job. She was in school. Listen to this. Amber was in school at home with the baby in her home that she paid for, that Gary was living in because he didn't even have a fucking job. He comes home and tells her that he signed up for school when she's in the middle of a semester, which leaves her in a panic because who's going to watch her daughter while she's in school? She's already been in school for over a year. And she's in the middle of a semester. And Gary comes home and says, guess what? I signed up for school today. And Amber's like, what are you talking about? I'm in school right now. I have work. Somebody has to watch Leah while all of this is going on. And Gary's like, well, I don't know. Good luck with that. That's your kid. No wonder she's not right in the fucking head. Imagine dealing with that at 14, 15, 16, and you have no way out. You have no parents. You have no resources. And the doctor says, oh, this pill bottle will help you figure it all out. It'll make you feel better, and you'll be able to deal with life on life's terms. And she ain't never been right. She ain't never been right again. She's been on drugs for what, 15 years allegedly? Xanax, Klonopin. We've watched the reunion specials with her falling asleep. And they make it out like she wants to be that person. No, she doesn't want to be that person. She never wanted to be that person. When we first met Amber on season 1, she was full of ambition. She was full of life. She was full of dedication. It was only when she kept getting re-victimized by Gary and the drugs were introduced that we have the Amber Portman that we have today. Because the Amber Portman in 2009, right after she gave birth to her daughter, was dedicated to success. And the fucking system fucked her. And I don't even like her. And I'm saying this. I'm calling shit for what it is. Right is right and wrong is wrong. MTV, Dr. Drew, and anyone else that's had a hand in the filming of these shows exploited those fucking young girls for views and money. Exploitation does not have to be in a sexual form. Exploitation is just exploitation. It's using somebody, manipulating them, and then profiting off of them. I don't like Amber at all. But there's no denying that she's a victim in all of this. And it's horrible the way that the media has harmed her even further. And then to know that her poor daughter, who doesn't know any better, doesn't even want her to be considered her mother anymore. It's crazy. Oh God, I don't know what's going on, if we should go, if we should stop. Officer Hottie, take me to jail today. Got nothing to do. He's a cutie. Big old beard. Running through the traffic. What you running from? You want me to chase you? Don't play with me, boy. I'll chase you down this interstate. You'll have to damn radio in. some crazy lady in a motorcycle jacket chasing me down off the Jacks Bridge. Send help! Officer being chased! Send help! There was a wheelbarrow that had done flew off of a tractor trailer or something, and the officer was getting the wheelbarrow out the way. They wouldn't have done that in Minnesota. They wouldn't have done that in North Carolina. He would have drove around it and left it in the fucking road for somebody to hit. God. At least he got it out the way. He had his little lights going. Good on you, sir. Good on you. Thank you for all you do for our community. Yeah, I feel bad for Amber Portwood so bad because everything's gotten turned around on her, and that's exactly what they do. It's just disturbing to me how people can have such a horrible upbringing like Caitlyn and Tyler, and society turn it around on them. It's like they don't even look at the history of what these poor children had to go through before they even had children. It's like, what did you expect? Do people not realize that when you come from an abusive home, your chances of succeeding as an adult are lessened? Because they are. And God forbid you grow up in the foster care system, you're almost destined for state prison, statistically speaking. And personally speaking. I just think that we need to look at a person's history before we completely write that person off as being a piece of shit. But why is it when they're pieces of shit, everybody worships them? Everything is so backwards. So backwards. We got mothers like Kris Jenner who has pimped her daughters out for fame and success and money, and nobody bats an eye. That's still abusive. You know, it's still abusive. Maybe the pain hurts a little less when you can damn go buy a Hermes or whatever, but like, you know, I could never release my daughter's sex tape. You know, like, first of all, I'm going to be committing acts of violence if I ever find some shit out like that. And second of all, I could never willingly allow something like that to be released so that my kid could be popular. Like, no, that's not what you do as a good parent. Now, did it work for the Kardashians? Clearly it did. Are they horrible people? Clearly they are. Soulless creatures. The only one I think even has a conscience is probably Kylie. Maybe I don't know them. I don't watch them. Courtney and Kylie seem like the two most down home, earthy, wholesome, normal ones out of the bunch. Kim and Khloe are fucking narcissists. I just think that people need to understand that if you're exploiting your child, that it's abusive. It's abuse. There's no in between. If you're exploiting your child, it's abuse. Exploitation of children is abuse. And that is what these family channels do when they are vlogging their infants and their children. They're exploiting their children, and that is abusive. And we've got to get to a place in society where people are calling shit for what it is. And it really disturbs me how society harms people and puts children in harm's way. And then when those children grow up and they don't behave the way that society wanted them to behave, then society writes them off as problematic. It's like, but wait a minute. I was in your custody for 20 years and you didn't even give me the tools to read and write, fam. And now you're mad that I can't read and write and work in the workforce. But I was in your custody. And it was your job to give me the tools that I need to function. You failed to do so, so you just throw me into the Department of Corrections and write me off as crazy. It's disturbing how hurt people get re-victimized over and over and over in the foster care system and the judicial system. And those things go hand in hand. Poverty and crime go hand in hand. Statistically speaking, they lead to each other. Sad world we live in, right? Sad. Who joined earlier? Sorry, I said I was dead trip, tulip. Oh my God, y'all, I can't see with the sun. Thank you for joining the channel. I need clothes. Gotta wash everything. You know, it's really crazy to me how if you look at certain stars from Teen Mom, like Macy Bookout, and I hope I'm saying that right, Chelsea DeBoer, if you look at the families, for instance, I'll just give you 2 and 2. Amber Portwood, pretty much no family, no one there for her, no resources. Caitlin and Tyler, pretty much no one there for them, no resources. But then you have people like Macy Bookout and Chelsea, whatever her name is. Their families had money. Their families had support. Their families have resources. Look at how well they're doing in comparison to the other group. Money is everything. It doesn't make happiness. But money is everything on this earth, unfortunately. And without it, it could mean the difference of you having your children and not. And that's why it's important to wait till marriage and having a stable environment to have children. Chelsea and Macy both come from money. Their families had money. You could see on the show, specifically Macy's family, big, beautiful fucking mansion. Chelsea too. I mean, those girls never really wanted for much. I'm sure that they had their struggles as being a single mother. But when you have financial resources and family there for you, you're almost destined to succeed. If you don't have those things, then you're destined to fail as a parent. Things like this ought to be taught in school. I didn't know this till probably 30. How sad. I did not know what I'm talking about until 30. Nobody ever told me. I never got the memo. My parents didn't even have the sex talk with me. It's sad. It's sad, but, you know, I feel bad for Amber. I feel bad for Caitlin and Tyler. I see things for what they are. I had no clue until, listen, here's the thing. I almost jumped on that bandwagon with the rest of society breaking Amber Portwood down. Because I don't like her and I don't like the way she acts, and some people might say that about me, you know. I'm sure a lot of people don't like me. I almost wrote her off as a horrible person until I went and watched season 1. And I couldn't believe it. It broke my heart for her. Amber she was going above and beyond for her daughter. She wanted to succeed, and she was full of drive and ambition until the abuse started by Gary. And then they put her on prescription drugs, and she ain't never been the same. Society did that. Society put her on prescription drugs. Big Farm. And now she's made out to be this horrible parent who's never been there for her daughter. She was never allowed to be there for her fucking daughter. What am I missing? It makes me so angry. It makes me so angry. It makes me so angry. Oh, she didn't want a relationship with her daughter, but they never would let her see her daughter. So how is she supposed to have a relationship with her daughter if they would never let her have access to her daughter? That's intentional. That's manipulation. That's to alienate you from your child. Gary. You know, when him and Christina get a divorce one day, I hope that she comes forward and tells us everything that she had to go through, because Gary is one of the most manipulative, cunning, backstabbing, two-faced people to ever walk this earth. He has played out his child's mother, Amber, and his new wife. And he sets back like he is Father of the Year when he is the one that created this entire problem. Go back and watch season 1. Watch how many times he cheats on Amber and then gaslights her and tells her it's her fault. He's trying to destroy her self-esteem. He was. And he did. He destroyed her self-esteem from the inside out. You watch her deteriorate on TV. Hold on, let me fact check what his age was. How old was Gary and Amber Portwood when they started dating? She was 14. That's a baby, y'all. I just want to be clear. She still had like 10 to 15 years before her brain would even properly develop. That's a child. 14 years of age is a child. So she was 14 and he was on the cusp of what, 18? First of all, where was her parents? Where was his parents? Where was the state? Why did nobody say anything when this 15-year-old girl gave birth to a baby with what would have been a 19-year-old man? Why was nothing said? So they started dating when she was 14 and he was 18. I can't believe this shit. Let me tell y'all something. She cannot consent to this relationship. So even though she consented at the time, legally, she's not allowed to do that. She's a minor. She cannot consent to a relationship with an adult. Then she gives birth to Leah at 15, which would have made Gary, what, 19? And nobody in the hospital said shit. Yeah, I don't like Gary. I think Gary's a piece of shit. I think that he's ruined Amber's life. And it was probably out of spite. I'd have to go back and watch the other seasons, but that first season was all I needed to see to know what happened to Amber. Big farm and tons of abuse. Tons of abuse and big farm. Dr. Drew, what's his name? Penske or whatever. There's episodes of him talking to Amber about drugs. Talking about the Klonopin, talking about Xanax. They were just MTV. You know, they put this front and center. It's so sick. It's crazy. I feel horrible for her. It's crazy how they put this on TV. Now you would get arrested. I agree. You know, especially with the physical violence that we saw portrayed in season 1 from Amber towards Gary. And she did go to jail, I do believe. Didn't she go to jail for beating on him? I don't remember. I wonder how long he was psychologically abusing her before she started physically abusing him. Yeah, she did go to jail. Yeah. See, that's what I'm saying, though. When you're dealing with somebody who doesn't have emotional intellect, what she would have been feeling at that time, she would have been confused. She would have felt crazy because he's gaslighting her. He's cheating on her. He's mentally, psychologically torturing her. And we see a lot of female victims that go through this turn to a physical route and start slapping on their spouses. Ask me how I know. I don't talk about these things because of my looks. I talk because I've personally experienced them. And I've talked about how I was physically violent to exes before. So they would go out and cheat on me. Go do some drugs or something. I don't know. Hypothetical. And then they'd come home and I'd question them about it. Why were you out? Where were you at? And then the conversation would get heated. And I internally did not know how to handle the emotions and the abuse, because that is abusive. And then I would physically get physical. And it is my belief that this is why we see Amber being physical towards Gary. It is a trigger. It's a response to the trauma that he was inflicting her with. Nobody will ever convince me otherwise. Listen, I should have been a clinical. I can see this shit from a mile away, and I know exactly what Amber was going through in that moment because I've been there myself. It's horrible that this got turned around on her. She has not been the best mother. She's absolutely had problems with drugs. And that's probably because MTV pays Dr. Drew to write her fucking scripts. So they have something to view. Let's just write her off as a drug addict, crazy, and abusive. And then we can make money off of her. All of that MTV money that we're giving her, yeah, that's going to flow right back into us because we're the ones prescribing her drugs. And I'm going out on a limb, so let me fact check. I'm speaking in hypothetical because I just understand how the world works better than most people, but let me check. During the filming of Teen Mom, did they have clinical psychologists to help the teen moms? Yes. Yes. Listen to this. Teen Mom utilized therapists and counselors with clinical psychology backgrounds to support the teen moms and their families. So where did the drugs come from? MTV, like I said. A clinical psychologist would have been the one that would have prescribed these medications to Amber. And it would have been done through Teen Mom to save her money and or to collect her money. Was she getting the service for free or was she paying out of pocket? Great question. Regardless, it's a great way for them to manipulate her internally through MTV. This woman has been exploited. And then it's been turned around that she was a horrible parent when she never even had the opportunities that a normal parent has because Gary shut her out. Dr. Drew Pinsky, yeah, he's one of the doctors listed. I used to like him. Now I see him for what he is. He's a mole. He's a mole. Bought and paid for. Here's an article from 2011. Listen to this. Dr. Drew Pinsky, MTV makes sure that teen moms get the help that they need. Oh, this is about Amber Portwood. Go fucking figure. Y'all, I don't like Amber. I don't like Amber at all. But what has happened to Amber is just so fucking unjust. It's just so wrong. Teen mom Amber Portwood checked into a rehab center in Malibu. This was in 2011. So this was at the height of making her out to be a horrible mother. Why was she even on drugs? Because they had prescribed them to her. She wasn't out here in the streets sucking dick for a crack rock. No. These drugs were given to her from clinical psychologists from MTV. But of course, there's an article that makes it seem like she was out here fiending for a crack rock. Checks into a rehab center in Malibu, California in late June with MTV's cameras chronicling her fight against anger control issues and depression. She's angry because her life has been stolen. Her child has been stolen. Who wouldn't be fucking angry? I don't even like the bitch, and I just want to hug her right now. Seriously, this is so fucking disturbing. It's like common sense. It's not fucking common. She was a child victim of sexual assault by Gary. A child that is 14 cannot consent to sex with an adult. That makes it statutory rape at the very least. He psychologically tortured her through the entire first season, playing games with her emotions, manipulating her, being two-faced. And she was just 15. Working multiple jobs. She was enrolled in school and she was taking care of Leah by herself as Gary was running the fucking streets cheating on her. No wonder she has anger issues and depression. Who wouldn't? While some readers may not be fans of The Young Mother or even popular series, many agreed that she should work on her issues. Why don't we work on these motherfucking failed systems, okay? So the big discussion back then in this article was whether or not she should be filmed in rehab. And I would have to say no. Like, what the fuck? Someone said that no one should be filmed in rehab. It's a place to go to unwind and de-stress from what you have going on there. And the cameras are only going to add the pressure of her life. And I have to agree. Part of the reason, in my opinion, that Amber suffers with these anger issues and depression is because she does not know how to handle everything that is coming at her. She's got the fucking media. She's got Gary and his wife. She's got MTV. She's got the general public that hates her. Imagine being her. I don't even like her, but I just want you to imagine that you were fucking Amber Portwood. What you would feel internally about how everybody else feels about you. When you were the victim, So this is all about So apparently she was caught with drug paraphernalia in 2009 for marijuana. She tested positive for marijuana. How many of y'all smoked dope in your life? Just once or twice? I don't know. It might be messed up. YouTube has a lot of glitches. They need to renovate this whole app. I'm sorry. They do. They mess up everything. So she violated probation when she tested positive for THC. The bitch is stressed. Can you blame her? This is a whole different scenario than somebody like Janelle. Janelle wanted to be a heathen. Janelle had resources, maybe not a lot of money. Barbara didn't have a lot of money. But Janelle chose to be a piece of shit. She chose drugs over her children. She chose to run the streets with Kiefer. That's completely different than what Amber was doing. I don't know why people are so accepting of Janelle, but they shit on Amber. Amber was out there doing what she was supposed to be doing until the abuse started and the drugs started, which were prescribed. Janelle is wild. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. She doesn't care. Janelle doesn't care. She's never cared. Amber cared. Amber deeply cared about her daughter Leah. More than anything. Her main goal... Oh, thank you. Hugs. Thank you so much. Her main goal was to get educated because she realized, even at 15 years old, she realized that the way to stability was through money. I would advise everybody go watch that first season. It's rough. It's here on YouTube. It's rough. It's just absolutely rough. Amber Portwood's criminal history.
According to Wikipedia, in December 2011, Portwood was arrested with a Class A felony of possession of a controlled substance and was later charged with violating her probation on her earlier...
And it was marijuana. Why was she charged with a felony for marijuana? Listen to this. This is Wiki. Amber Leanne Portwood is an American reality television personality and a convicted criminal. Even Wiki has got it out for her. Portwood received particular public attention in 2010, where in an episode documented Portwood's domestic violence against her partner, Gary Shirley. So statutory rape is not abuse? Statutory rape is not domestic? What? I'm not saying it's right that she was punching on Gary, but what I'm saying is you need to go back to the start to understand everything, to have context. This is what Wiki is saying on their page. Do you see what I'm saying? I have a huge problem with this. This woman has been painted to be somebody that she's not. And I have no doubt that the physical abuse that she was implementing towards Gary comes from a lack of being able to control her emotions and to know how to properly regulate them. This is a symptom that we see in people who were already previously abused. It's just sad. The whole situation's sad. I feel so bad for Amber. I really do. And I don't even like her. Can we agree that in 2025 we're going to stop jumping on bandwagons when we don't know the truth about a scenario and a situation? Because it's really baffling to me how MTV exploited her, Gary exploited her, statutory rape at the very least. She can't even, legally, she can't even consent to that relationship. And she was so determined on raising Leah and doing the right thing. It was only when they put her on those Klonopin that it started to go downhill. And it's in the first season, ironically. It's in the first season. You can see Gary cheating on her. You can see her paying the bills. You can see her going to school. You can see her doing everything she needed to do to be a good mama. And you can see him doing nothing. Nothing. What a piece of shit. I'll never have respect for Gary because of what he done to Amber. He shouldn't have been messing with a fucking youngin'. I think he should go to jail for it if I'm being for real. Yes. 30, 20, 15 years later, he should absolutely be charged with statutory rape. Imagine what her life would have looked like if she would have never met Gary. That's how quickly one person can fuck your future up. That's all it takes is one bad person that wants to play games with your toy with your emotions and your heart. And now you're made out to be the bad guy. You're the bad guy. Even though you did nothing wrong but maybe punch him in the face once after he cheated on you 15 times and damn toyed with your emotions for damn 2 years. And, you know, it's just crazy. I'm not saying she had any right to put her hands on him, but yep, they are definitely gaslighting Amber. Absolutely. MTV done it. Dr. Drew done it. Every person that worked recording Amber gaslight Amber, and they exploited her and they played her out. So messed up. I need to damn... Hold on one second, y'all. I gotta get different shorts. Laundry detergent. Change real quick. I want to wash these shorts that I got on. There was this weird guy walking by, y'all. He's like eating a plate of food. He looks homeless or something, but he's being real crazy. It's too early. I ain't even had time to wake up. Sometimes it takes me like half the day just to get my eyes open. You know what I mean? It's like, damn. Damn it. Come on, man. It's so fucking hot. It's already so hot, y'all. That shit's sticking to me. It's making me mad. Alright. Where'd I put that 20? Oh, God. Fuck. Oh, here it is. I mean, and at least Amber stopped having kids. Janelle didn't do that. You know what I mean? That's another thing. Janelle just kept popping out more youngins to create a bigger problem. At least Amber stopped having kids. They got music on. Yeah, no, 14 is wild. I thought it was like 15, but it clearly said 14. And it said that he was like 18 or 19. It's that weirdo I kept telling y'all about. He's either drunk or high on something. He was walking around my car, and I'm like, what the fuck? It's always some weirdo. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, he's probably high. Yeah, the drug problem's out here is so bad. I don't know why they don't talk about it. It's like the Republicans just want to ignore it. They do. They do. You know why? Because they do it too. That's why. Y'all just don't know. Y'all just don't know. That's why they protect them. I never thought about that. Because they're active participants sometimes on the weekends. You know what I mean? They got to have access for when they want it. Makes perfect sense. I'm telling you, though, some of the biggest cokeheads I've ever met were Republicans. Republican businessmen. Lawyers, doctors. It'd blow your mind. The type of people that used to come into the strip clubs. Always coming in, grabbing a few shots, looking for some coke. Now it's saying 50% at 4 o'clock. You're ruining my day because you don't know the weather. I could have already been at the beach doing something. I wonder if that place is good. Olympic Cafe, Pizza Gyro Wings. I don't know. I'm kind of weird about places like that. I don't know. I don't want to waste my money and then not be able to eat it. I wish I could ask that guy what he got there. What'd you get there? Do you like it? What'd you get? Trump is funny. So Trump's White House advisors decided to put out this AI generated photo of himself, of Trump dressed as the Pope. The White House posted an AI generated photo of President Donald Trump depicted as the Pope. Trump attended Pope Francis's funeral in Rome last week. Days later, Trump joked that he'd like to be Pope, adding, "That would be my number one choice." Cardinals are set to begin conclave on May 7th to elect the next pope. It don't matter. The Catholic Church is ruined, so it don't matter. Oh my God, look at this picture. He is funny. Y'all, this is why we love him. That's Trump dressed up as the Pope. The White House put this photo out. He's trolling them and they don't even know it. Have y'all seen where he said that he was gonna like be president for forever and all the lefties are losing it? Hey, MK. Trump is the ultimate troll. He really is. It's so good too. He's even making a popey face. He's like kind of frowning. I think I said like 2 weeks before the Pope died, I said the Pope's about to die. Remember? God, I need an editor. Did y'all see that Yellowstone accident with the school? It was a bus. Chinese and Indian tourists killed in a crash at Yellowstone. It was the whole bus was engulfed in flames at the entrance of the Yellowstone National Park. Chinese and Italian tourists were reportedly among 7 killed in a collision between a tour bus and a truck on Thursday. 8 others were injured when a Chevy pickup truck and a Mercedes passenger van carrying 14 sightseers crashed on a highway in Idaho. Both vehicles caught fire. 5 Chinese tourists died in the Mercedes van, but a local coroner said 2 Italian tourists also died, along with a Texas resident who was driving the Chevy pickup, which would amount to 8 fatalities. Police are still investigating what led up to the collision. Well, sorry. Well, Chinese and Italian. Is this like Chinese American, Italian American? Were these people from China? Physical, like, you know, like were they physically from China? Out here driving on these streets, don't know how to read English? I don't know. But we saw what happened in Ohio during the at the height of these immigration problems. Not that these people are illegal. Don't twist what I'm saying. Listen. Just listen. We listen and we don't judge. What I'm trying to say is there's a lot of motherfuckers that are legal residents that don't speak English. How the fuck did they know how to drive, fam? How do they know how to read stop on a stop sign? I just wonder if maybe that has something to do with this crash, because these are tourists, what appears to be from China and Italy. I'm wondering if the miscommunication and the lack thereof English played a part in this crash. I'm wondering if a lack of knowledge for Western highways played a part in this crash. Y'all know. Y'all know. Y'all out here driving. Y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. Shit's ridiculous. Oh, there's no lane? Oh, I'll make my own lane. That's what we do in Mexico. You know what I mean? It's gotten ridiculous. These accidents have gotten worse because of the immigration problems. And the DMV just hands them license. Hell, they do the same thing for Westerners that don't know how to drive. They were citizens of China. Chinese state news agency reported that they were from the Chinese consulate in San Francisco. So Isaiah Monroe, 25, of Texas, was the driver of the pickup truck. The Mercedes van was what was holding the Chinese immigrants from China. Who was driving the Mercedes Sprinter van? Gee, I wonder. You think a truck driver from Texas is going to make this kind of fucking mistake? I don't think so, fam. It was probably the Chinese people that didn't know how to drive. They were from China. They don't know how to obey our traffic laws if they ain't never fucking been here before. Careless accident that should have never happened. I'm just trying to point out the inconsistencies in the BBC, because common sense, not trying to say that Chinese people don't know how to fucking drive. But when they come from China, they don't. Not our ways, not our customs. We have to teach them. They have to take classes. So I wonder. When was this? They don't tell me nothing. Photo released of knives found at the scene of an officer-involved shooting on Jacksonville's west side. That's like Orange Park. That's like where all the rich people are. What happened? The Jacksonville Sheriff's Office released a photo of the weapons found at the scene of an officer-involved shooting. They just repeat the same shit over and over and over. It happened last night. An officer shot and killed a man who attacked two people with butcher knives on Julian Drive near Ricker Road. This was about 7 p.m. last night. Julian Drive. I don't know. That's weird. Well, if you're brandishing a knife at the cops, expect to get shot. You won't see me shedding no tears for you. A man was shot and killed by the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office Friday night for failing to comply with the officer's commands while holding two, but he had two knives? Two knives in front of people who were on the ground. So he had people on the ground being held hostage. He had two knives and he got a bunch of bullets. What's the problem? What am I missing? Is there a problem, or are y'all just letting us know? See, I love Florida. They just letting us know. We killed a motherfucker last night because he wanted to fuck around and find out. Thank you. Love you, Jacksonville Sheriff's Office. Y'all are the best. Parker said Zahing was the first officer who showed up to the incident, which happened at the 4200 block of Julian Drive. When he arrived at approximately 7:09 p.m., plenty of time for the suspect to be drinking all day, Parker said he got out of his patrol car, went in between the two houses where he heard yelling, and saw a middle-aged man on the ground bleeding with an older woman on top of him also bleeding. Can you just put yourself in these officers' shoes for a minute? You show up, you don't know what the fuck's going on. You walk around the side of the house, and there's two elderly people on top of each other bleeding out. It's got to be confusing. And then in that moment, legally, you got to legally do the right thing. Ethically, legally. It's got to be stressful. You know, it's one of those things that I don't think people put themselves in these officers' shoes. And I hate the cops, but like, these cops down here ain't too bad, but that's because they do things like they ought to do things. Florida does shit like it's supposed to be done. I'm going to tell you right now, if Austin Metcalf would have got stabbed in the heart in the state of Florida, none of that shit would be going on. Carmelo Anthony would be in jail, and his parents might be too. All right. So one of the officers noted another individual was standing to the left of... hold on. So it looks like at this point there's an Officer Parker and there's an Officer Zahing. They noticed that there was blood all over this fence that was dividing these houses. There was a fence line. And there was blood all down the fence. There's two people on the ground bleeding. The suspect raised two knives up in front of the man and woman who were already on the ground bleeding. The officer, Zahing, gave multiple comments to drop the weapon. He's yelling at the suspect, drop the weapons, and what does the suspect not do? He don't drop the weapons. This is a witness statement. Quote, as he pulls them both up, he goes back within just feet of these two people to attack them again, and that is when the officer engages and shoots him. Now, this is from a witness that was at the crime scene that saw all of this go down. And thank God, because even with body cam footage, the family would have been saying that this was illegal and this guy wasn't doing nothing wrong, as he's done stabbed two people and still holding knives. What did I fucking say? Quote, this is from the sheriff's office. Quote, we found out that he had been drinking all day. End quote. What did I say? 7 p.m., plenty of time to be good and drunk. He probably started at 7 a.m. They usually have about 12 hours of shelf life drunk out here. So, he had been drinking all day. How did I know? Members of the Jacksonville Fire and Rescue Department later responded to the scene and took the suspect to a hospital where he died. Although JSO did not release the suspect's name due to his family not being yet notified about his death, they're expecting it, honey. Any man that's 58 years old out here in these streets still drinking from sunup to sundown, acting a fool, his family was expecting him to be dead long time ago. He been doing this shit for years and ain't learned shit. He deserved to get shot. He did it to himself. The man and the woman who were on the ground are expected to be okay. Thank God. It's unclear what relationship they even have with the suspect, the now dead suspect. This officer had never even had to fire his service weapon before. This was the first time he's ever had to use his weapon. And you know, I wonder if it affects them like it would me. Like, I know that I would be, you know, if you were in that situation, you know you're doing your job, but at the end of the day, you've still killed somebody. And it's got to be traumatic knowing that you did the right thing, but you still had to take a life. That's not normal. And these officers, these men and women that are out here protecting and serving our communities, they're not checked on enough. They're gaslit and blamed when they're simply just trying to do a job. Y'all know I see both sides. This officer has been with JSO for 7 years, and now he's placed on administrative leave. Are you fucking kidding me? But the 9 officers that killed an inmate at the jail, they stayed on and worked for 7 days before they were relieved of their duties. This is typical. This is standard protocol. So he'll be back to work eventually, and hopefully he's getting pay. This shooting at JSO marks the 7th officer-involved shooting in just 2025 alone. They're having a lot of problems out here. A lot of problems. Let's go start this dryer. Damn. Hold on one second. Y'all know I hate the cops more than anybody after what they've done to me. But right is right and wrong is wrong. If somebody is out here acting a fool, brandishing weapons, they don't stab people, they asking to get shot. You wanted to get shot. You were begging for it. You were standing there with 2 butcher knives begging to get shot. That's what I heard when you was brandishing a knife. Please shoot me. That's what I heard. You know what I mean? If I was an officer, that's what I heard. Shoot me. Take me out. I just want people to know that if you out here acting a fool like that, expect to get shot. You deserve to get shot. The first time they tell you to put the weapon down that you refuse to do so, if he says it again, you was lucky, bitch. He told you twice. Where I'm from, they don't even tell you once. They show up and you got a weapon, they just gonna start firing off shots. They ain't even gonna tell you to drop it. At least the cops and damn around here, they tell you to drop the weapon. At least you know why you got shot. Up north, you don't even know why you got shot. Ask me how I know. I ain't never been shot, but they do come at me with guns drawn. So I've been in some high-stress situations, okay? It's been a long time, 20 years. And it's actually been 2018 since I had a criminal charge, which was possession of heroin. I was on drugs. Yeah, I got clean 2 years after that, and I've been clean since. Ain't had no legal trouble. Prior to the 2018 conviction, I was arrested for fighting 2 girls at like 18. We got in a big fist fight, and I had a DWI. It was probably 2012, 2014. You know what I mean? So it's been almost 10 years. And over almost 20 from 2009. That was a while ago. But do I get any credit? Absolutely not. They'll never do that because they want to bash you back down so that you do get in more trouble, so that you end up back part of the system. They did the same thing to Amber. I've already talked about that. We don't talk about that. Anyone that does will be blocked. Sorry. It's amazing to me how many people believe lies. They ain't smart enough to go look up a damn court docket. It's all public fucking record, and they still be out here just lying I love it. I love it. It's all going to be revealed. It might be 20 years, so hold on, because this is going to be a ride, but it'll all be revealed. Everything I talk about, you'll see one day. It's all true. I'm actually surprised that I'm not like on drugs like Amber, you know, because they did that to me. They put me on Xanax. They did the same thing to Amber they tried to do to me, and vice versa. So it's kind of crazy that like people don't see things for what it is because they're so miserable. They just want somebody to hate on, you know. It's crazy. So my clothes are drying. They're drying. I can't believe how many people live in a false reality. It's sad. How many? It said there was 7 or 8. Go away. I'm so sick of this update. You freaking... Oh shit. Suki suki. Where does that come from? My mama used to say that all the time. She'd say suki suki. Like it's good. Like yay. Like suki suki. Look what I got. You know. Like mama used to say that all the time. I wonder what that comes from. Another one she used to say is, oh man. Oh man. She used to say, which way did it go, George? And then she used to say, what you talking about, Willis? I think they come from it, probably a song or a show from the 80s. Probably. Oh shit. Alright. So at opendata.jackssheriffsoffice.org, they actually have a website that they've set up. I love this. As part of JSO's commitment to transparency, this page is created to provide information on Jacksonville, Florida's officer-involved shootings. As details of any officer-involved shooting become available for public release, they will be added here. The transparency, breath of fresh air. The data for this page has been organized into the following 5 categories, which can be clicked for additional explanation. I love how this is so easy too. Why can't it be this easy when I go to make my insurance payment? Why can't it be this easy when I go to damn buy something off the internet? Y'all see how easy, simple, incident information, involved individuals, state attorney review, JSO administrative review, and video links. Oh, y'all got videos? This section includes links to public statements given for each case. In the near future, recordings of the RTR board hearings will also be available. No, I want to see the body cam. Hold on. Please be advised, as a result of Marcy's Law, prior released body-worn camera videos related to officer-involved shootings have been removed due to violating the constitutional amendment. What? What the fuck is Marcy's Law? Hold on, y'all. This is what I don't like. Absolutely not. That's public record. The body cam footage is public record because it was taken by a public servant. Marcy's Law, also known as the Victims' Bill of Rights Act, is a constitutional amendment that grants crime victims certain rights. So it's a Florida thing. So it's for victims. But why would a criminal fall under Marcy's Law? They're not the victim of a crime. They're the perpetrator of a crime. Welcome to Florida, where you never know what the fuck is going on. Some days it's great, and some days it's like, what the fuck? That body cam footage should be public. It should fall into public domain because it was taken by a public servant. Plain and simple. Now I'm thinking y'all covering up some shit. We want to see the body cam footage for every fucking incident of an officer-related shooting. Can we get that law on the books? Thank you. So let's see here. Just this year, we've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 incidents, and then an additional one yesterday, Friday night. It looks like it was an aggravated assault on a law enforcement officer. So it looks like back in February there was a guy, Benjamin D. Edwin, listen, white, oh God, they're all white. Ow! What the fuck? I'm flipping stats today. No way. Alright, let me just... So there was an aggravated assault on a law enforcement officer, which caused an officer to shoot the suspect, who was a white male. And I'm not saying these officers' names because they're doing their jobs. All of these incidents were fatal. All of these people died here in Jacksonville. Hey, Emily. Oh, thank you, Emily. Did you get that for Emily? Thank you. Emily's been here for a while. Welcome. For sure. That's crazy. Thank you. So it looks like all the people that were shot. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 were white, 2 were black. 5 were male, 1 was female. Oh, this bitch had a handgun. Hold on. She tried to kill herself. So y'all just did it for her? So it looks like she was armed with a gun on 3/11/25. There was 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 officers at the scene. This crazy bitch has a handgun. Her name was Tiffany Lee. She was a white female, 53 years of age. She was shot, but it was not fatal. I hope her ass is in jail. You deserve to be in jail. Taking up city resources with your dumb shit. If you want to... Girl, that was attention. If they got a handgun and they still ain't done it, they want attention. I'm not trying to be heartless. I'm trying to be rational. I'm trying to put you into the shoes of a fucking officer. So they shot her. I mean, she wanted to get shot. She lived, though. So it looks like most of these have been people that wanted to commit suicide. We got armed suicidal subject, battery domestic, attempted murder, armed suicidal individual, traffic crash. What the fuck? These are all officers that had to go to scenes with subjects acting crazy, and then the subject was shot. Traffic crash. Where was this? Oh God, it was off of 95 southbound. That's enough to make you like go insane, honestly. So this was a white male who was 48 years of age. I'm sorry. That's the officer's age. I'm sorry, y'all. The way they got this shit, they don't tell me. Oh, here it is. So yes, this was a 70-year-old man that got into a traffic crash right off of 95. And somehow he was shot. He survived. I'm just wondering what leads from a traffic accident to getting shot by the police. What happened? You're 70 years old. What could have happened? What could have happened to cause that 70-year-old man to get shot by the police? He did something. I'm telling you, they don't just come to you out here looking for a fucking problem, man. Yeah, they do that in New York. Yeah, they do that in North Carolina. Yeah, they do that in other states. But down here, they don't have contact with you to start shit. They got shit to do. And they'd rather be chilling somewhere under a shaded tree with the AC going, not having to deal with you. So you really got to be damn out here acting a fool to get shot by the cops in Florida, because in my experience, they are much more patient here than most places. I bet he's setting up in an old rest home right now, bitching. That cop was crazy. No, you did something. I know you did something. Let's see. Domestic buyer. Oh, so it looks like there was a 28-year-old man. First of all, he's from another country. ALQUANSUYDAM. You couldn't have just named him Charles. He was fatally shot and killed with the cops shot him. Oh, and he was black, so I don't know. I don't know. He was fatally shot and killed. It looks like it was a domestic disturbance, domestic battery. There was another one that was shot and killed for attempted murder. Adam C. Gaulding, white male, 42 years of... No, sorry, that's the officer's age. Black male, 33 years of age. He had a handgun rifle. He was fatally shot and killed. Listen, I'm just saying that all of this seems justified. The only one that I have concern about is the 70-year-old man. Why was he shot during a traffic stop? It was a crash. He had a traffic crash, and then when the cops show up, they shot him. He had to have been acting a fool. Let me tell you, he had to have been. All of these seem justified. There was even some back in December where 2 people were fatally shot and killed, 2 black males. Did they just get, where I'm from, black guys, they have different names than white guys for sure in North Carolina. Not all of them, but you know what I mean. And down here, they don't have, it's weird. How do you say this? DJUAN. DJUA. Is that Dewan? Is that Dewan? Dehan? Fuck. Listen, his last name is even worse. Oh, no, it's not. His last name's Jackson. I don't get it. People be making me think that damn. Listen. Stop giving your kids bad juju by giving them a name that nobody can pronounce. This is a melting pot though, so it's nothing like North Carolina. Up north, they have names, you don't see too many black guys with the name Josh or Brandon or Charles, It's just a little different up North Carolina. Down here, people's names are quite different because it's a melting pot and you have tons of immigrants here. So there's people from all over the world here. So the names just get me because I can barely speak my own name. I think that some of the names that I've seen are really beautiful, but then some of them are just like, why would you do that to a child? It's like you're setting them up for failure. Nobody's going to ever remember them because nobody could pronounce their name. Is this yet? This shit gets turned around. Listen to this. Hold on, I gotta read you this. The mom of a bulletproof clad police shooter released new details. The mother of Brandon White, who was killed by the Jacksonville police office. Hold on. I'm sorry. The way that they word stuff, y'all, it's too early. La Whopper. You lying. La Whopper? I just feel like if your mama names you something like that, you have every legal right to sue her. Imagine how much that girl got bullied for her name being Whopper. Why would you do that to somebody you claim to love? I don't get it. So the mother of Brandon White, who was also killed by a Jacksonville police officer who was also shot, says there's more to be told. I don't care, Brenda. Your son was out here shooting at cops with a bulletproof vest on. He deserved to get shot. A 60-year-old man who had prior encounters with White thinks that he may have been in danger. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. You know why? Let me tell you. Because he had on a bulletproof vest and he was shooting at police. Brandon Timothy White, now identified as the man wearing a bulletproof vest who shot an officer during a traffic stop last week, had bad intentions before being killed by returning gunfire. Well, what gave that away? The guns or the bulletproof vest? I mean, did you think he was going to bake a cake? I mean, the last time I baked a cake, I only had to wear one bulletproof vest. You know, like, this is so comical. It's just so stupid that it's hilarious. What gave it away that he had ill intentions? The guns or the bulletproof vest? And Jacksonville Sheriff T.K. Waters, who I don't really care for, he's the one that said that the man had ill intentions. Mr. Waters, this is the one time that you don't need to explain to the public why your officers had to kill this lunatic in the middle of the street. The bulletproof vest and the guns covered your ass. We didn't even need the explanation. We know that he had ill intent because he was suited up like he was going to war while sitting at a fucking traffic light. Where are you going to? I don't know, but this bulletproof vest and this gun gonna be used today. What gave it away that he had ill intentions? It's so comical. So this woman said that her son Brandon was a veteran paratrooper. Listen. We were talking about the other day how our military mental health services are non-existent and how men are taught to suck it up and have a stiff upper lip, and if they have any kind of mental health problems or if they're suffering from PTSD after deployment, they're to suck it up. Because if they don't, and they have a medical issue or a mental health issue, and then they're labeled as problematic, they can lose their whole career. So there's so much stigma behind mental health problems in our military, and it sucks. And you see a lot of people, men specifically, that suffer with CPTSD and PTSD, and it's not fair, it's not right. But as a parent, you have to take some accountability. You have to take some kind of accountability. You can't just blame his military experience on why he's losing his marbles in the street right now with a bulletproof vest on shooting at cops. Sorry, it's not that simple. His mother said that wearing a bulletproof vest is not a crime and that all his guns were registered. It's like they're missing the point. He shot at police. We don't care that the guns were registered. We don't care that he was driving a car while wearing a bulletproof vest. He shot at cops, and that's why he was shot and killed. Yeah, and the mother said that these kids wear bulletproof vests as a fashion statement. He's not the only one that does that. Yeah, and that's your job as a parent, to guide your child in a different direction than acting like a fucking hoodlum. So your son's death is kind of on your hands because you're the type of parent that would allow a child to wear a bulletproof vest thinking that it's cool. That tells me everything I need to know about you as a parent. What is wrong with these people? His mother is just blaming everybody else. It's the neighborhood's fault. It's the cops' fault. It's the fashion's fault. And this is why your son is dead. You couldn't take accountability, and you couldn't even guide him in the right direction. You think that a bulletproof vest is a fucking fashion statement, and you still wondering why your son was shot and killed in the street by JSO. I see the apple doesn't fall too far from the tree, Mama Bear, does it? There was a 60-year-old man who actually lived a few blocks away from the suspect that was shot and killed. And he actually had to call the cops on Brandon White in June and confronted him about firing shots off in the neighborhood. White pled no contest to the charges of resisting an officer without violence and discharging a firearm in public, and was sentenced to 2 days in jail. He got off light. That's like 2 years of probation and a year in prison. He got off super light. So he was known for causing problems and firing off random shots in the neighborhood. He had already been to jail for it. This old man stopped and asked this kid, "Are you shooting at me?" And you know what the kid say? Now, the one that's dead, the one that was shot by the cops because he deserved to be. "I'm not, but I will if you keep coming around here." So not only was this little shit confrontational, but he was out here looking for a problem. Oh, there's the body cam. Stop. No, I don't want your newsletter. No, I don't want your newsletter. The Jacksonville Sheriff's Office has released body camera and surveillance footage of a shootout between a suspect wearing body armor and an officer on the morning of March 12th. Brandon Wright, 33, was killed in the gunfight. Jacksonville officer was wounded in the foot. The incident began shortly after 9 a.m. with a traffic stop. After hesitating to pull over, the suspect parked in a residential driveway and trying to get out of the vehicle. The officer ordered him to stay in the vehicle, and the suspect opened fire with a handgun. In the video, the officer can be seen firing back at the suspect and moving to a position of cover. The suspect can be seen grabbing a rifle and attempting to get out of his car. So he just shot at the cop with a handgun. Then he decides to grab a rifle and go after the officer as the officer is trying to find cover from the bullets. At this point, the officer fired again, completely incapacitating the suspect. Additional units arrived on the scene and provided emergency care to White. They discovered that he was wearing a bulletproof resistant vest. The officer says in the video that a round had hit White in the shoulder above the protection of the vest. Probably like right here where it straps over their shoulder. Ain't that Velcro? It's probably somewhere right here. He died at the hospital. Well, welcome to Florida. His mama, wiping his ass, blaming everybody else, tells me all I need to know about why her son was acting this way. Let's go check on my clothes. They might have music on, y'all. Yep. You know what sucks is that I can never share music with y'all. How did that get on? There we go. I can never share. I thought it was on. It's not. I can never enjoy music with y'all. Music is my whole life. That's what I do when I'm not online. I'm just dancing around to Whitney Houston. Alright, so I think that we need to get some coffee, y'all. My mood is shit today. I'm stressed out beyond belief. Just try to keep it together every day, you know. It's the best that I can do. My truck is filthy. I think that we get to that festival. I don't know what I want to wear though. That's the problem. That's why I don't go anywhere, because I never have anything to wear. I'm gonna put this in the back. I need my towel out because I'm going to wash. Alright, I got something to wear. Dress for the thing. Hello, Queen Princess. Oh, well, thank you again. Is that Dread Top? Dread it? Dread? I have no idea, y'all. Look at this. That's a great description of what Jacksonville looks like. The whole city looks like that. The whole city. Hey, Manuel. I guess I'm headed today and get ready at the gym, and then we're going to go to this festival. Where is the damn phone charger? Can't find the trap. I'm doing all right. I'm doing all right. Clothes for the gym. Yeah, I don't really care for this gym, if I'm being honest. Like, I thought that I liked it at first, but now that I've been there for a while, it's weird. Why are they all weird? What is it about communal gyms that just, it's weird? I don't know. I think there's a lot more liberals out there than I originally thought, which is scary that there are even one or two. But, yeah, it's weird. You know, anyone that's seen my content that identifies with leftist propaganda brainwashing, they're not going to like me. Because I tell women to respect themselves. Because I tell men to respect themselves. You know what I mean? Anyone that's not a Christian, anyone that doesn't think rationally, they're not going to like me. I don't care, but I just say that so people realize why I have these problems. The stalking, the people trying to wake me up in the middle of the night. It's because they don't align with what I believe, and that's fine. It's still stalking, but I think that people need to understand that just because you agree with me doesn't mean that the majority does. The majority are leftist. Thank God they don't all vote, or we'd really be fucked. Just because the Republicans have the power now doesn't mean that they're always gonna. This upcoming generation, there's powers in numbers. We saw that with Biden getting in the office. It's just crazy that I don't think the majority of civilization even realizes how many people identify with leftist propaganda. The whole upcoming generation feels that way. It's really scary. It's even crazier to think that they were brainwashed by our education system. and the media and smartphones. I'd like to say we done this to ourselves, but I've been saying since day one that children didn't need cell phones. So I had no part in this. I'm going to go to the gym after I eat, and we're going to get ready for this festival. Here, I'll tell you about it. It's pretty badass. It's a shrimp festival. Shrimp festival. Oh. So there's going to be live music, live entertainment, food. They're going to also have like little plays on the stage. It's a huge event. What are they doing today? Saturday. What time is it? Oh, there's a shrimp eating contest at 4:30. Then they're going to have live music at 5. More live music at 5:30. They have all kinds of events for children. Pirate competitions, because you're supposed to dress up like a pirate. No, I'm not. Sitting in this chair. Food, entertainment, arts and crafts, live music, and vintage antiques. Fuck it, I'm not going to the gym. I'll just put on a dress in the car. Fernando Beach. Damn, I didn't realize it was that far. Y'all, I'm gonna jump off here and get ready for this, and then we'll go to the festival. Hey, Veronica. Because I'm gonna have to make an hour drive. It's not that far. It's only 22 minutes. I mean, 22 miles. It's because Jacksonville's so big. This is the 60th annual one, Veronica. That's wild. I've never been. But I know one thing. I gotta eat today. Something real. I'm gonna go get ready and then we're gonna go. And I'm gonna stop being a buzzkill. I'm stressed. It puts me in a bad mood. Guess what I found last night? And guess what? I took some of it last night and I woke up with my kidneys hurting. It's the Dollar Tree brand Equal. But I woke up with my kidneys hurting. You too, Joe Mama. So I don't know if I'll be able to even use these because it hurts so bad. I woke up at 5 o'clock with my kidneys hurting. Hurt until like 8 o'clock. So I'm going to go get ready, y'all, and then we're going to go to the festival. Okay? Well, sorry I was about to jump off, Joe Mama. We're going to head to this festival. But I gotta get ready, so I'm gonna get ready and then we'll go. It'll be fun. Bye, y'all. Y'all be safe. We'll talk this afternoon at the festival. Love you guys. Be safe. Bye, y'all. Thank you, Lewis. You too. You be safe.